Yo, 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 welcome to Audio Addiction. It is your boy Brandon. Thanks for hanging. Thanks for chilling. Tonight I think we're doing album stream. That seemed to be the most recommended one in terms of what people wanted to see on last stream. So if you missed Saturday's stream, we did newest, as well as doing a little bit of a little catch-up stuff. We didn't do too much. It was about 30 minutes. But I think the consensus at the end of it was that everybody wanted to do an album stream, and we haven't done one in a little bit, so I felt it was good to do it. And if you're new, come join the Discord. That's usually where I post about what we're doing and covering, so would be really sick if you could come hang out. Would love to see you in the Discord. But very nice. I'm trying to think what else. Everything on Patreon should be up to date. I think the only two that I don't have is I don't have a thumbnail for the catch-up one, as well as newest, since those are so, no pun intended, new. So I'm going to be working on those this week. They should hopefully be out before the week is over with. And then all of the YouTube stuff will be out when it comes out. But if you want to see it early, check Patreon. That's usually the best place to check first. So very cool. Very cool. You could say they are the newest. That's what I was inferring the pun there. So Gunky, hello. Kala, hello. Jazz, hello. Sarah, hello. Sally, hello. Dang, can't stay, but just came to say hi. Dang, hope you're doing well. Best of luck on the new job. Hopefully we will see you in the foreseeable future. But Kala says, I can be rude and request XLOV early today. I have bad Wi-Fi in like an hour. Oof. All right. We shall do it. If those who are not initiated, my girlfriend has been in love with the new XLOV Rizz and stuff, so she has been crushing it. So I thought it would be funny to post my commentary of that in the Discord. So big salutes to my girlfriend. She's great, but it was really funny. So she does get it. She does get it. I think she's only listened to Rizz. I don't know if she's listened to the full. All I've seen is when we watch TV and I'll sit next to her, I literally can see on her phone like many different like compilations of like of dance videos. And one comment she made was like, she was like, oh my god, these guys have like, I mean, they have like no spine. And I said, yeah, I know, they're nuts. So I'll have to put her on to the new release if she hasn't. She loves the single. So, but very nice, very nice. Let's see. Sally says, if we're requesting, can I request 17's Going 17 album? Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. So, Trident. Okay, we'll do 17 and Trident for now. Let's see. Kaylee, hello. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Connie, hello. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. The full album is a must. She's got to listen to it. Okay, will do. I'll pass it off. Lucy, we can do Lucy. That'd be sick. All right, cool. We've got our list here. All right, let me get my thing pulled up here. All right, cool. Let's get into the first one. We did check out Rizz, so I'm not gonna rewatch the MV, but if you haven't checked it yet, please go watch it. But let's check out Scent. I have not listened to this at all. The only one I've listened to is Rizz, so I'm curious. So let's rock with Scent. Also, let me know if we're good on volume, chat. We did do spaghetti, yeah. Ooh, wow. Great vocals. Ooh, wow. Ooh, I like that. Very reverb drenched guitar sound. Cool. Ooh, wow.
Can't get enough when you're pulling up. The end is so drunk, baby. I don't know if I can't get enough. Diamonds in the rough, baby. Go and just show me what you're made of. Yeah, make it make sense. It makes sense. You and I just dance for night. Yeah, yeah. Making no sense. Deep inside, just breathe me in.
Nice melody choice. That's awesome. Cool. Very nice. All right. This is sent from, is it Unlove? I don't know how to I'm guessing based off the album title. This is Scent. Very cool. Not I feel like this is not what I would have expected the album to sound based off of the title track. Which is great. I feel like I've gone, like I said, when I talked about Rizz, I have gone back and listened to a lot of their releases prior to this one, but I think this one, at least in terms of XLOV stuff that I've listened to recently, I feel like this one feels the most composed. Like there's something about it that I really appreciate. It's kind of got that little bit of like R&B flavor to it, which I see that Junie is the composer / lyricist, which 100% makes sense now. Because I was like, wow, this is low key kind of giving a little bit Junie vibes, and it makes sense because he composed it. So, that checks the checks here, but yeah, I thought this was great. And their vocals are awesome. I feel like Rizz, while a good song and I like it, I don't feel like it shows off their vocals in a good way. Not in a bad way. Like I want to preface before I put my foot in my mouth. I did like the vocals in Rizz, but I feel like this one, there's a lot more definition. There's a lot more like warmth to their tones that I don't feel like I had gotten as much in Rizz. So I love that. I think there's just a smoothness to it. Like it's just got a great quality of musicality to it that I really like. Again, that guitar work is really beautiful. I think like the way that they kind of put it all together was just like really gorgeous. I would not be surprised if this is a very popular B-side, because I feel like I feel like Scent and Rizz are kind of two opposite ends of the coin, where like Rizz I feel like is like more aggressive, a little bit more out there. Scent is a little bit more laid back, vibey, chill. So I love that they're paired right up next to each other in this release. I think it shows them off in a better light that I feel like I can love. You know what I mean? Not to say that I didn't love Rizz at all, but I feel like this one was really sick. So let's see. Jazz says, I've been so behind on releases recently, so this will be a nice way to catch up. I agree. Kala said the album's so good. Okay, very nice. Dang, I don't know if you heard my comment earlier, but we did do Spaghetti. That should be in the most current Patreon video, so you can check that out. Connie says this gives me Chase Atlantic vibes. I would also agree. Andy seemed to concur that as well. Gunky says we would have to listen to 8-Bit Heart by Itzy. It's just nuts. When he also upvoted that, maybe we'll check it out at the end since it's only one song. Cal says their vocals have gotten so much better. I'm so glad to have more songs with them showing off what they can do. I agree. Sarah says Rui is a Saiyan. I'm like 100% sure. Fair enough. Jazz says very nice. I really liked it. Sally said that's a good song. Kai said definitely adding this to my playlist. Gagi said this is much closer to something I would listen to compared to Rizz. Fair enough. And Sarah says this one makes me want to go back and watch Wimuti and Rui's beautiful butterfly cover again. That was very cool. I did like that. I think this one, again, I think like there's a lot of subtlety in this song. I think that's probably what makes it really good to me personally. Is just like there is flexing in the song, but I think it's like a more subtle flex. And like if you obviously understand how to like put melodies together or like compose a really good song, I think they did an absolute knockout of the park, in my opinion, job of, you know, putting that together, working with Junie. I think to me, they should hopefully work with him in the future again, because that would be really sick. So also shout outs to Pack Odd. I feel like I did not mention them either, but very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, we're going to get into the title track, Rizz, which, again, we've checked out already, so let's keep it moving.
Yeah, I got the Rizz, body moving with a hiss. Love the way you're saying please. Take a beat, I'm moving, kiss. Watch me slay it. Hit the floor, pull the trigger, now I'm not young, yeah. Take it slow, boy, I'm gonna kill it all, yeah. 집중해, 이제 밤이 back in paradise. 그만 답해, say it to me, you can choose this do or die. Tryna diss your juice, now you're stuck, no choice, no use. 이제 콕콕 쏘아. Then she can survive the night, you're done too.
Cool ensemble vocal section there. Cool.
Body moving with a hiss. Love the way you're saying please. 그렇게 피로 물린 kiss. Yeah, I got that Rizz. Every step I take the mess. Got you falling deep, dice. 그렇게 피로 물든 kiss. Watch you slay that. Tyson, I'm just vibing and 그저 멋대로 입을 닦아 일상처럼 cause I just say it up 너의 gossip은 네 맘없이 I'm the topic 맘 가는 대로 look how we both like a prayer run away that's a play that's a thrill it's a prove 들리는 거 다 정했어 원한 이제 모아도 it's smooth yeah your breath can't deny what you feel 매번 부딪히는 feels
I love that run to falsetto. Cool.
Take the fall a hell of it. Yeah, I got that Rizz. Body moving with a hiss. Love the way you're saying please. 그렇게 피로 물든 kiss. Watch me slay it.
All right. Very cool. This was XLOV's Rizz. Hanging out. We're covering a bunch of albums. So, I'll keep this one kind of brief because I did talk about it when we covered the music video, but I do really like this one a lot. I think this is way better on streaming. No offense to the MV. I love it. I think the choreography is awesome. But I think there's so much more. First of all, two things. One, I think there's a lot more lower definition in the song. Like there's a lot more, you can feel a lot more of that 808 bass tone, I think, in the streamed recording version of this, which I like because I feel like this type of song definitely has a lot more definition on the lower end. So I definitely like that. As well as that, I don't know, and maybe chat can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel that their vocals are a lot more defined in this song. There's something about it that, like, the way that they mix their vocals in this song specifically, and again, maybe it might be the streaming version as well, but like there's a lot more definition to their tone. Like, you can hear, I feel like there's just so much more clarity to their vocals, which I love. So I think that that's really, really sick. There's a lot of moments where I was like, holy shit, like there's a lot of like cool runs and things that I don't feel like I was really like alerted to in the MV. So I love going back and listening to like the recorded versions online. So this was great. Love the song. I still think it's really catchy. Probably again, similar to my comments I made about it when I checked it out. I do wish it was a little longer. The 2.5 minutes is a little rough, a little under 2.5 minutes is a rough song in terms of mental fortitude, but otherwise great song. I like I said, still like this one a lot. Yeah. So if you like my full thoughts, go check out the MV version of this. I feel like I go a little bit more in depth, but overall, great, another great song. So very nice. Let's see. Kaylee says, I love when listening to a song, I can just see the dance in my head. That's fair. I feel like their choreography is very memorable too, though. Sarah says, I need it to be at least a minute longer. That's fair. Gunky says, typically stream is better than MV. I would agree. I would also agree. I think it's I don't know. I feel like sometimes I don't have like the wherewithal to like be like, oh yeah, I gotta watch the MV and like pay attention to what's going on with that. But then like, I feel like anytime I'm listening to music like outside of stream, I'm really either like trying to focus on it or I'm like listening to it to just enjoy it. So I feel like in this case where I'm listening to it with like intention, there's a lot more things that I feel like I notice about the song. So Callus says, yeah, for sure, very nice. And yeah, I adore the song, but it falls into the short song trap. I agree. So all right, very cool. We're gonna keep it moving. We're moving along tonight. We've got Dirty Baby next. So curious what this one's gonna sound like, but let's check it out. Wow.
I don't wanna back down. You've been playing too loud. Hey, you better watch out. Now I'm turning you down. Oh, you don't wanna see me through the noise.
Wow.
Right on your freak, so close to you. 더 느리게 시계 춤춰 작은 몸 거리게. Oh, slow to move. Let me find your pain.
I love that arpeggio. It's nice.
We don't need to learn about it. Oh, now I know that.
Oh. Those trap drums come in. Wow.
Yeah, I don't explain, I just exist. 앞에 보이는 거울에 비친 버추를 만진 lovely grumpy victim처럼. But you won't see through the noise. I'll be right on your face, so close to you. 더 느리게 시계춤조차도 머뭇거리게. I'll slow to move, let me hold your shake, baby. So you already know about love. Oh, here we go now. One more will make it right, baby. You know I go. Let's talk where we are. You know that. If you stay right here, you know that I don't disappear. 기나긴 시간 지났어. 결국 아름답게 피어. 난 dirty. I show you how to be dirty. I teach you how to be dirty. Don't worry about that. Worry. Dirty. I show you how to be dirty. I teach you how to be dirty. 깨끗한 결국 no crown without. We maybe make it right, baby. You know I go. Let's have it where we are. That's our legacy.
All right. Wow. All right. That was Dirty Baby. Very nice. This one was composed by 8 Nouveau. Okay. Very interesting. Um I would agree with Gunky. It does have a very atmospheric feel to it. I would also additionally add, I think the production of the song is very large. Like there's something about it that like every part of the like song kind of feels very open, which is interesting because I don't know in terms of the song. I think it's very interesting. I will say the only thing that I might have a gripe with potentially, and this is not like a huge gripe, but I do feel like there really isn't anything on like the top end of the song, like the treble part of the song. I feel like like obviously there's vocal parts that kind of sit in that mid-range tone and kind of go up a little bit higher on the register. There's a lot of falsetto tones, so you could, I guess, per se say that's in the treble tones as well. But I don't feel like there's like this really like high end, like there isn't a lot of like twinkle to over the top, which I thought was very interesting. Um, I will say like the low end of the song is really hitting. I love a lot of like that really like sub bass. I feel like you can hear that really strong. I think if you are the type of listener to listen to music with like a sub or something like that, this song would be bumping for sure. Um, but I do feel like it's mainly consisting of that like low end tone, which is great. But I do feel like there is some like brightness. There is like a little bit of shimmer that I feel like the song is missing out on that could have made it seem a little bit more like kind of pop a little bit more. I really like that kind of like arpeggiated like synth tone that they used. And I think they could have made it a little bit more interesting on that top end. The vocals were really cool. I think they did a great job of kind of mixing in different like vocal tones, like again the falsetto, the mid-range tone. There's a lot of low end like almost like borderline bass tones, which I thought was very interesting considering how like low end the song is anyway. But yeah, I don't know. This one I feel like could potentially grow on me, but I do feel like there is missing. I feel like it's missing something on the top end that would have just maybe kind of made the scene feel a little bit more cohesive in terms of the like stylization. I think there's a lot of cool elements in the song that I like, but I don't know if it really kind of comes together in the way that I think of it personally. Now, if you love Dirty Baby and this is your favorite song off of XLOV's newest album, all the kudos to you. Enjoy it, eat up. But I feel like for me, there's definitely some top end missing on this song that would have, I think, balanced out a lot of that low end tone of the song, in my opinion. So, let's see. Cal says on first listen, this was my least favorite song, but it's grown on me since then. Very nice. Jazz says I'm not too sure about this one. Connie says nice song, but it's missing something. IMO. Gunky says that they would agree. Sarah says from the album sampler, I thought this song would be very different than what it was. I did not. I purposefully, well, just in general, I purposefully don't listen to album samplers just because I love going into it blind. But I do feel like with this song, like I could understand where you were going from, where like if you heard certain snippets of the song where you'd be like, ooh, okay, this might change. I did like whatever. I don't know if I would technically be considered a bridge considering how small this song is lengthwise, but the one section where they had like kind of like the lower vocals and then it switched to like a more falsetto tone, I thought that was really sick. I kind of wish they expounded upon that a little bit more. But otherwise, like I said, not a bad song. I do like the low end. I just kind of wish there would be, although I kind of wish there would have been some like top end sprinkle. I think that would have been awesome in my opinion. So, all right. Well, we're keeping it moving. I don't know if this is, I would assume this is bi, but I don't know. Is it bi P? Because that kind of looks like one of those emojis with the tongue sticking out. So I don't know. Am I getting old? Potentially. Most likely. But anyway, let's check it out.
Beep, 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 and my heart goes beep, beep, beep,
Ooh.
beep, beep, and my heart goes beep, 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 and my heart goes beep, 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 and my heart goes damn. I wanna get the party started. Ain't no more broken hearted. Ain't no more broken And my heart goes beep, 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 beep. And my heart goes beep, 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 beep. And my heart goes beep, 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 beep. And my heart goes beep, 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 beep. And my heart goes beep, 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 beep. And my heart goes beep, 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 beep. And my heart goes beep, 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 beep. And my heart goes beep, 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 beep. And my heart goes. 안녕 내 이름은 Ray. And my heart goes beep. 안녕 내 이름은 Ray. And my heart goes beep. 안녕 내 이름은 Ray. And my heart goes beep, 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 beep. And my heart goes beep.
All right. I think it's beep if I've got it correct. The emoticon was cute. I did like that. That was the word I could not think of. So, I like this. I like this a very good a bit. I think maybe potentially it's just because I like more chiptune type songs, and this kind of falls in that sort of category to some degree. But I liked it. It's very catchy. I didn't think it was gonna be that catchy, to be honest, but I was just out here just like vibing. It was good. I feel like this is like, and I hope this isn't taken in a derogatory way, but I feel like this is like one of those songs you can like turn your brain off and just enjoy. There isn't like, I don't feel like there's any I feel like there aren't any frills to this song. You know what I mean? I think if you like a good like punchy beat, I feel like if you like obviously the more like auto tune like vocoder sort of voice, then I think this would definitely be up your alley. But I thought it was funny because I don't know. I think it's kind of ironic that this song and Rizz kind of continue, I would argue, in a similar sort of BPM, where like this one has more of a club banger sort of feel to it, but like I could almost see them mashing up in a weird coincidence, like you know, like the way that they say Rizz, and then obviously the way that they say like beep in this song was kind of drawing similar parallels. So I thought that was interesting. I didn't really pick up on it until me saying Rizz and then remembering the chorus of Rizz. I'm like, oh, okay, they kind of did a similar thing. So I think there is a ear candiness to it. But yeah, I like this a lot. I will say I was surprised. I enjoyed it for the 2 minutes and 11 seconds. I didn't feel like it was too long. But yeah, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed it. It's a very like light, fun, upbeat sort of song. So I mean, I don't feel like there's a lot of hate, at least in my opinion, that could be drawn from that. But Kaylee says I like the I like, very nice. Cal says beep, I think. Fun noises, yeah. Sarah says the official lyrics of this song include emoticons. It's really cute. That is really cute. That's the word I couldn't think of earlier. Emoticons was the semicolons and the letter P. So, Sarah says this might be my favorite. Gungi says the only thing I remember is beep beep beep. That's fair. Biscuit, hello. I'm just popping in for a minute. Can't stay. Hope you're doing all right. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate it. Sarah says this is also the song they're going to be promoting where Rizz got banned. That's interesting. Guggy says this is probably the most repetitive song I've heard in a long time, or at least that's all I remember. And Sarah says I feel like you said something similar Wednesday, but it must be the era of repetition. Could be. Cal says this one's fun, cute, but it's definitely my least favorite. Fair enough. And I feel like to me, it's always interesting to see what chat has to say. Cause like, not that I base my opinion off of what y'all tell me, but it is interesting to see how people are perceptive of the different types of music, right? Like there's people that didn't like the song. There's people that love the song. So I feel like I always try to base my commentary somewhat off of like, if you love this song, if Beep's your favorite song off the XLOV album, then hey, enjoy it, you know? All the power to you. So I feel like, you know, that's the magics of choice. people are allowed to love what they love, and I'm sure there are some songs that I don't like, but and there's probably songs that I like that chat doesn't like. So I think everyone is fair to enjoy what they love and should be celebrated because it's music and music's sick. So, all right. Well, we got a couple more off this release. We've got Kiss and Say Goodbye. So let's check that out. Oh wow, this is way different. Step by step we walk through all the pain that we made. Just say goodbye, it's for the better. But love so drug and cut it out. 알면서 택했던 것 wow. 별만큼 많았었던 아니 너만 몰랐던. And since we chose the path I will face it. 다시라 해도 I won't fake it. We were born to break 멈춰야 했어. I wish I could be the perfect for you. 꼭 하늘게 wow. I was never gonna be the one for you. So let's just kiss and say goodbye. Ooh. That hurts. Oh. 다시 돌아봐 잡았던 손을 놓지 마. 어차피 언젠가 놓을 테니까. Maybe love was just a lie. Told myself 1,000 times. Now I'm feeling numb, can try again. I wish I could be the perfect boy. 꼭 안을게 아픈 맞추고. I was never gonna be the one for you. So let's just kiss and say goodbye. Wow, love those guitars. Wish I could be the perfect for you. 꼭 I was never gonna be the one for you. So let's just kiss and say goodbye. Oh man. That was awesome. All right, that was Kiss and Say Goodbye. Oh, wow. I got goosebumps. That one was so good. I feel like there's such a vulnerability to this song. You know what I mean? I think there's a very sweet tone to this that's like that I think is great. I am a ballad normie Diz. I do love a ballad. Don't get me wrong. I'll take that. I'll take a feels trip any day, but I think that's kind of to me it's like I appreciate the sound because it's like I think similarly to what Kaylee said in comments, they really said we're gonna give you everything on this album, LOL. Like, and I genuinely believe that. Like, I feel that I feel that like in these types of songs, especially, I think you place yourself in this in the position of the song, right? And I think that that's kind of what makes me kind of get a little emotional about it, because like I think you definitely kind of relive a lot of those memories that, if you've had to do something like that, I think it makes you, remember those things. And I think that's kind of, again, speaking about the magic of music, but I think this one was just such a beautiful song. Not what I would have expected XLOV to do by any means, but I do feel like, to me, it's just like this really just like gorgeous, vulnerable song that I think really kind of hits you in a specific way. And I think the piano is really gorgeous. I love that guitar, like that really soaring guitar solo. I thought was really awesome as well. I think there's just a lot of dynamic elements to this song that really kind of obviously hits an impact point, but as well as that, I think it also highlights them in a more vulnerable fashion. And so I hope that they, it seems like they have been very willing to do whatever they needed to do, but this was so great. I think, like, if it went on for maybe another 30 seconds, I could imagine myself shedding a tear. But it was just so, it was just so impactful. And so I really appreciate that they decided to include this on this album. And I hope that it's impactful for other people, because I'd imagine most people would be listening to this release because of Rizz, obviously, for the title track. But I think there's a lot of hidden gems on this album that I really love. So I hope that people go and give it a full spin. But yeah, this was awesome. I think this is amongst my favorites on the album for sure. I feel I felt attached to it. So very nice. All right, everyone's comments here. Kyle says, this one. Guggy says, this is refreshing. Jazz says, now this is sounding more my speed. So pretty. Jazz says, Andy says, this one is beautiful. Gungi also agreed the guitars are great. Sarah says, Hyun's sounds magical. I agree. Gungi said, this is my favorite song so far, as well as Jazz. Very nice. Kaylee says, it also gives me like a cinematic moment in a musical for a side character moment. I would agree with that. I could see that. Connie says, I really like that song, Beautiful Voices. Diz came in and said we were normies for liking ballads. Cal says, I haven't cried to this one yet, but I'm playing on it. I feel that. Gave no remorse in my love of ballads. And everybody's saying, Guggy says, my favorite song this year is October 4th by IU. That makes sense. I haven't cried to this, but I have to Trip. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, let's get into the final one. I'm curious. Let's check it out. Wow.
I can see that you feel lately. Hiding, crying before I met you, fighting every night. 사랑을 보여줬던 너 나는 널 데리러 왔어. Come on, right now, talk to me baby. Cause I can't forget to call me. Oh, your man is my every morning. Now we don't need to say 이제는 너무 drip falling 들려 네 목소리. And if you feel the same, yeah, I'll never be straight again, lost again anymore. There's no more drip falling because you're red hot up, you know. There's no more drip falling because you're red hot up, you know. 부딪히는 셔도 너로 인해서만 해줘 아마 더 Give me some of love, your love 서로를 세게 끌어안아 All of my stuff 아낌없이 모두 줄게 The only thing you give me 간직해 the feeling You don't need to stay away 사랑을 보여줬던 너 나는 널 데리러 왔어 Come on, right now, talk to me baby Cause I can't forget to call me Oh, your man is more every morning No, we don't need to say 이제는 너무 drip falling 들려 네 목소리 And if you feel the same yeah, I'll never be straight, get lost again anymore Oh, tell me why 겹친 우연인 걸까 나는 너를 너는 나를 알아봤던 그 순간 Now I read a little miracle Oh, every single thing with you Won't forget you cause you're irreversible Drip falling through 네 목소리 And if you feel the same Yeah, I'll never be straight again, not again anymore
Wow. All right. This was XLOV's Drip Drip from their Unlove album. Very nice, very nice. Thank you for joining. Um, I like this. This was also very good. Got a kind of, I don't know, like a little bit. I definitely would say it falls under that club beat kind of category. But I really enjoyed kind of the beat of the song. That guitar being a little bit more of the focal point in the song. I thought was cool. I like how they kind of, I guess it's not really a sample, but I guess more of a loop. I thought that was really really sick. Um, I also thought their vocals had kind of this and like angelic sort of feel to it. So, I thought to me it was very very cool. How the vibes were. Again, their falsetto tones are super 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 nice. And I love that they get to highlight it a little bit more. I mean, I feel like they highlighted a lot, but I do love kind of again, the way that it's stylized in this song. Um, but I do feel like it comes together really well. Which I thought was really, really neat. Um, and this one's like a little bit more low key. Like the song itself doesn't like has a lot of energy to it certainly, but I kind of like it's kind of similarly to Sen, um, where I'm like there is a little bit of subtlety to the song. There's like some little cool like ad lib runs. There's just like a little bit more of a subtle hand to the song that I appreciate. And I think all of their songs really just do have like this sweetness to it. You know what I mean? Maybe outside of Rizz, because I feel like Rizz is more of a little bit more of a sexier feel. But I feel like Drip is definitely like one of those songs where I'm like I appreciate kind of like the more R&B flavor of the song, and I think they do that really well. So um I enjoyed this release. I will definitely have to pass this off to my girlfriend to check out. I know she'll probably be shocked by this entire release, so I'll have to give my full thoughts on it. But I enjoyed this one a lot. This one was a good must listen. So glad chat asked me to do this one first. So very nice. Let's see. Cal says the next one's my favorite. Diz says this is a fan song, 10,000,000%. Probably. Cal says they really said let's end this with a bang. Andy says love this one. Nice. Connie says I think this one is my fave. Jazz says nice. Sarah says oh maybe this one's my favorite. I feel like you could go through that 1.5 million times. I don't have any idea what Diz said. Thought I was. I love it. I do the same thing. Uh, Sarah says I'm maybe the loosest way. This reminded me of the Four Walls by FX. Very nice. Kala says this is another song that makes you feel like you're floating, and that's why my weakness. Fair enough. And Sarah says also show your girlfriend their Move cover. I will. Okay, will do. And Lola is just the lyrics. Okay, very nice. That's okay. I kind of figured as much. I was like either that or like Diz is like a caveman panting on the walls, and I'm having to try to figure out what they're trying to relate to me. But it's all good. Um, to my favorites of tonight for this release, I'd actually say it's the first two songs and the last two songs. Scent I loved. I feel like Junie is the man, the myth, the legend. So I loved that. Rizz I feel like is such a good song still. Kiss and Say Goodbye I feel like was the shocker for me. Not in the sense of like the song itself, but I just feel like they just did such an excellent job with that one. And I feel like Drip Drip is definitely like one of those ones where I was like, damn, this one hits. So definitely like this one a lot. So I would say those are my top four. No offense to Dirty Baby or Beep, they were also very good as well. But I feel like if I was going off of base, if I was going off my vibes for tonight, I would say those. So just says it is 1:45 a.m. before a new concert. What can one do? Hey, have fun. Say hi to my love. So Jazz says kiss and say goodbye. Scent and then drip drip. Nice. Cal says drip drip. Scent and Rizz, I think. Wow. Okay. We're most people are on the same page, which is cool. Diz says, Bip bringing the Europop back to K-pop. I love that for me, but drip drip number one. Cal says, okay, I have to dip out for a little. Might be back near the end. That's okay. Thank you, Cal, for pulling through. So, all right. The next one we've got is 17. I think Sally wanted me to listen to Going 17, which we will check out. Was that new? I feel like I listened to the most current 17 album. Let's see. I did listen to the most recent 17 album, Happy Birthday. Let me see. 17 Heaven, Always Yours. We're scrolling. It's pretty old. Okay. Teenage, love it. Is it oh, maybe it's an EP. I clicked albums. Sorry, guys. It's my first time streaming. Jesus. They did not make it easy. I'll tell you what. All right, let's see. We're really going back. Oh, wait. Am I happy ending? I'm just going to do it. 17 Going. I can spell. Okay, cool. I could have just done that. All right. Let's check this one out. I have not checked this one out, I don't believe. So, and they do have a lot of music. That is fair. Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you, chat. All right, let's check it out. I'm excited. This is beautiful. Wow. Okay.
너의 온기를 연상시켜 밤 공기에 스쳐 잠들어 꿈속까지 들어온 넌 변함없이 다음날 나를 깨워줘 거리 거니는 사람들 앞만 보고 걷거나 자기를 볼일 보는 중 내가 널 생각하는지 네가 알까 모를까 모르겠네 모두들 어디를 그리 바쁘게 가는지 저기 저 커플은 뭐가 그렇게 좋은지 모두 너무 바빠 해 나도 너를 생각하느라 너무 바빠 My life is so beautiful My life is so beautiful 어쩌면 매일 똑같은 일상 같지만서 특별한 너와 함께면 Beautiful
I like that harmony they start off with. That's cool.
눈앞에 있는 것들 촉각, 시각, 청각, 미각 세상에 시드는 꽃은 많지만 여기 있는 것들 시들지가 않아 우리 사랑을 절대 쉬지 않아 Beautiful 너를 생각하면 Whenever paradise, paradise Beautiful 네 손잡이 되면 Whenever paradise, paradise Beautiful 긴 하루가 지나게 너의 옆에 있어줄게 내가
All right, very cool. This was 17 and their song Beautiful from their third mini album, Going 17. Very nice. Thank you, Sally, for recommending it tonight. All right. Gagi says, let's go SVT. Let's go. Excited. Kaylee says, I haven't listened to this one in a hot minute. I would agree. I have also not listened to this one in a hot minute. Sally says, so Beautiful is just Josh, Hoshi, DK, Mingyu, The 8, and Dino singing. Okay, very nice. Connie says, I love this album. One of my faves. Hey, let's go. I'll be honest. I feel that, and I think I've made commentary similarly to this, but I feel like there's so many albums that I have a back catalog of that I haven't listened to, and there's a lot of groups we've covered, so I feel as though I will never catch up. So I like doing these album streams where I can effectively get my thoughts out on an album, but I enjoyed this a lot. I think it was very gorgeous. I mean, to be expected, I feel, of 17. They've got some really damn good vocalists, so I'm genuinely not surprised that this is a great song. I really loved a lot of the like ensemble / harmony sections in this song. I feel like, and maybe it might be older 17 that they do a really good job of that but I feel like in more modern, I think more modern 17, and that's no diss to them. I think they're making great music now and then previously, but I do feel like they've utilized a lot more of their strengths as a group early on, which is great. I think they really kind of pushed for great vocals in that time, and there's a lot of moments where I was like, wow, like there's so much engagement. I don't know if they still perform the title track from this release live still or not, but I think there is just like this aspect of like great layering, great composition, and so I feel like they've always done a really great job of that. But I always obviously got to give a lot of kudos to the older discography, because I just feel like they hit the nail on the mark, on some of these releases for sure. I love the instrumentation as well. I thought that was really fun. Very bright, very major key. But I like the differentiation of that. The rap section was also really fun too. But I, like I said, not to be hating on this group of vocalists, but they were all great. I feel like I gave a lot of love to DK when we initially covered 17. I still love DK. I think he's fantastic. I love the 8. I feel like the 8's incredible as well. Dino's awesome. Josh is great. I mean, I feel like I could say they're all great, and that still would be true. But some of my biases, DK, the 8, Dino, were all really great in this song, obviously including Mingyu, Hoshi, and Josh. I think they're also great members of 17. So very nice. Guggy says the next song is my favorite on this mini, but I know you've heard it before on the deep dive. And Kaylee says Boom Boom is the title track, by the way. I do remember that. I also noticed that, like, for the most part, I could tell what's the title track because it has usually the most streams typically. So I feel like that's always a good marker point for if I can't remember what the title track is. I would assume it's the most played song on the release. And if it's not, that's rough. So it's not always a consistent thing, but I do feel like it would make sense in my mind. So let's check out Boom Boom next, though.
눈앞에 있어도 보고 싶어지는 이 느낌을 뭐라고 설명할까
Probably never does, unfortunately.
마주치면 좋아지는 기분 넌내 바이오 리듬 뱅뱅 돌려 말하지만 맘은 꼬여들지 않음 너무 아름다운 너또 너를 바라본 나 지금 널 생각하면서 집 앞으로 갈게 할 말 있어 지금 끝이 없는 너라는 길을 두 걸음씩 뛰어가서 있는 것 안아줄게 멈출 수 없는 계절 가득 봄봄봄봄봄봄봄봄봄 Everyday 봄봄 너 때문에 봄봄 넌 나를 헤매헤매헤매헤매헤매헤매헤 Come on Everyday 봄봄 너 때문에 봄봄 You got me like boom 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 yeah boom 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 every day you're up in my head 넌 달콤하게 나의 눈에 띄네 yeah 안 지워지네 지금 너가 들어가 내 눈에는 명량 좋아 boom boom 너무 아름다운 너또 너를 바라보는 나 지금 넌 생각하면서 집 앞으로 갈게 할 말 있어 지금 끝이 없는 너라는 길을 두 걸음씩 뛰어가서 있는 것 안아줄게 멈출 수 없는 계절 가득 봄봄봄봄봄봄봄봄봄 Everyday 봄봄 너 때문에 봄봄 You got me like boom 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 yeah boom 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 Everyday 봄봄 너 때문에 봄봄 You got me like boom 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 yeah boom 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 어제의 너도 내일은 나도 같은 마음 같은 시선이길 언제나 함께하길 나 뺏긴 너는 새로워 너와 함께면 쓰러진 몇 배로 그러니까 나는 너는 내게 대입해 우리라는 답으로 사랑의 도시만 가꾸자 아름다워 아름다워 멈출 수 없는 계절 가득 Everyday 너 때문에 넌 나를 헤매헤매헤매헤매헤 Come on Everyday 너 때문에 You got me like boom 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 yeah boom 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 boom
All right, very cool. That was Boom Boom by 17. I'll be honest, I have not listened to that since we first covered 17. I'm also very curious when we covered 17 ages, eons ago, some might say. But man, this was so good. I'll say I love doing that. I not to toot my own horn for doing this, but like I think to me it's like interesting to go back in time and like be like, oh wow, I listened to this like X amount of years ago and not remembering it. Like I feel bad because like I genuinely had such a great time covering 17. But I think this song is like one of those ones where now I feel like I'm more familiar with K-pop as a whole. And it's just like there's just something really timeless about some of these older like K-pop songs. And not to say that like something that came out in 2016 is old. But like it'll be almost a decade next year, well, coming up very soon. So I think to me it's very interesting to see like how much their discography has changed over the years. But man, this is just so good. It still hits. I feel like the production on it was incredible. I think to me, it also is really impressive, again, with the amount of members that 17 has. I think it's just still so cool to me how well and how good the song is mixed and like put together. Just because I think I just enjoyed it so much. There's just like really good like highlight moments. Like the rapping was cool. Like I think there's just a dynamicism to the song. I love that like really interesting like warbly synth sound in the song, like just really works for that. And just like there's like a little bit of like horns in this song. Like I think it kind of like again the dynamics of the song is just so much fun, and I don't think you can help but just have like a big smile on your face while listening to it. So I think they did a fantastic job, obviously being the most streamed song on this release, and for good reason, because I think it's incredible. But wow, damn. This one I don't know where this sits on most 17s. I think it's Carrots is their fandom name. I'm curious where this sits on people's list of favorite title tracks from 17. Because I think for me, I feel like this is a low key sleeper, honestly. So I like this. I will definitely go back and listen to. Well, I'm listening to it now, but I will go back and listen to this album again just because I enjoyed it so much. So enjoying it so much so far. So, Jazz says, these song lengths though, when are we getting those back? And Gungy and I both said the same thing. It doesn't seem like anytime soon, unfortunately. Gungy says it's just so good. Thanks to some artists, I keep wondering how it would sound if they swapped out Boom Boom with Beep Beep. Fair enough. And Kaylee did say it was Carrots. Okay, I do remember. There's some things I retain, so I'm glad I remember that. And Kaylee says, honestly, I'm pretty sure Boom Boom gets overlooked a lot, especially when people are getting into them for the first time. I'm surprised because I think there is just a lot of dynamicism to this song, and I feel like an idiot for saying like this is great, and I'm sure there's gonna be a ton of Carrots that are gonna be like, you're sleeping, you're hitting the snooze button, you know. But genuinely, I enjoyed this one a lot. I will 100% not be sleeping on this song again. And then just for a reference piece, just so those who are uninitiated, it looks like this was the first 17 video was published May 2nd of 2024. So it's almost a year. It's a little over a year, almost. I guess it would be almost 2 years, like a year and a half. So that's probably why I don't remember it. But a lot of music happened during that time period. But very, very cool. Great song. So, wow, damn. If you haven't, check those out. They're great. But we're going to keep it moving. The next one we've got on the list is Highlight. So let's check it out. Love this pre-chorus. Oh, yeah. God damn, I love this pre-chorus. So good.
Baby you 시간을 되새겨본다 간절히 꿈꿔온 시간 점점 더 가까워져가 때론 눈물은 머금던 날들 그만 두고 온 발자국에 남겨 세상 어디서도 서로를 믿는다면 우리 마주하는 이 순간
All right. Very cool. That was 17 Highlight from their third mini album, Going 17. This was great. Let's see what we got here for comments. Sally says Highlight is a performance unit. Very nice. Kaylee says, this one. Connie says, love this song. Gunky says, oh, this one. Andy says, ooh. Connie says, one of the first songs I heard from 17. Wow. Okay. Very nice. Great ears. Gunky says, of course, this is such a great song. This song is a highlight for sure. Uni says, sound is both dated and timeless at the same time. I could hear that. I could hear that for sure. My first thought, and also probably dating myself a little bit, but it's kind of giving some Zed vibes. And I love Zed. There was this moment in time where I had like an EDM stint, probably during the days of like dubstep and stuff, like Skrillex. I'm trying to think of who else I listened to at the time, like Knife Party. I still listen to a little bit of Purity Ring, but definitely Purity Ring. Odessa, like definitely kind of got those types of vibes. So to me, it was like, that OG Zed feel, which I'm about. I definitely feel like that. I agree with Unhi that like it is kind of dated, but also at the same point, I feel like there is just a timeless sheen over the song that I really appreciate. I think, and if chat can correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure we did check out like a performance video of this song, not in the deep dive, but I feel like someone had recommended this to me at some point. Unless my ears are going bad, which I hope not, but I feel as potentially there had potentially been a compilation or something we would watch, but this song sounds familiar in that aspect. But I think to me, this kind of feels like that moment of like, especially when they're like saying the highlight part, I feel like that kind of signals to me, at least in my head, as like choreography moment. For whatever reason, I feel like we had watched a like performance video of this just because of like the choreography and stuff. But I think that is really cool. I love the pre-chorus build. I still feel like I'll stand on that hill and enjoy it so much. Another part of the song I really enjoyed was the bridge. I thought the bridge was really smooth. I like that kind of like that little bit of psych out in the like final chorus where they kind of switch you over to that main riff of like the highlight part of the song in the chorus, but then kind of like change it up in a really weird way. So I love that. I thought that was really cool. But to me, this screams like I would, if I have not yet, which I feel like I have, I would need to see a performance of this. I feel like this one definitely had some moments of like a dance break section or something like that. But I thought this was really rad. So I enjoyed this one a lot. I feel like Unhi may have nailed it on the head for me conceptually. So very nice. Gunky says I can totally hear Zed in this. Andy says I see it, and Unhi says for sure. And then Kaylee said maybe to the comment about watching the performance video. Kaylee says the CEO liked this song so much he had the group turn it into a whole group song as well. So there's both performance unit version and a 13-member version. I think I remember I don't know if you made the commentary about this, but I feel like I have checked this out in a performance aspect because um they must have performed it on one of the 17. I feel like Sally may have recommended it to me, or even Kaylee, or Connie had recommended this to me, maybe potentially in a chaos stream. Because I remember that. I don't know why, but I'm getting old, so I could also just be turning senile at this point. But great song. I enjoyed this one. This was rad. So, um, all right. Well, we'll keep it moving tonight. We've got Lean on Me next. So, check it out.
우리 마지막이 언제지 알지 못하더라도 행여 무슨 일이 생겼어 보지 못하더라도 내게 기대 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 내게 기대 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 내게 기대 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 내게 기대 내가 네 맘에 있다면 정말 내가 네 맘에 있다면 너가 어디에 있든 I will follow.
Yeah.
서로 위를 치여 살며 자주 못 봐도 서로에게 취해 잠을 청하며 꿈 속에서 망설이지 말고 내게 기대 우리 이제 참아내고 있으니 좀만 더 힘내 꿈에서 깨어나더라도 정말 내가 네 맘에 있다면 너가 어디에 있든 I'll be there. Yeah. I'll be there 네 맘엔 항상 내가 있어 서로 힘들 때라면 더욱더 함께 할게 my girl. Oh girl 넌 나의 정답 힘들 때 손잡고 축 처진 어깨 토닥토닥 sometimes 삶에 지쳐 힘들 때 내게로 와 우리 마지막이 언제지 알지 못하더라도 행여 무슨 일이 생겼어 보지 못하더라도 내게 기대 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 내게 기대 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 내게 기대 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 내게 기대 또 돼 어깨로 쏠리는 너의 고개 잠시라도 쉴 곳이 내가 된다는 게 힘든 것들을 싹 다 잊게 해줘 니까 행복이라 언제든 여기 비워둘게 누가 또 울렸어 못되게 굴었어 하나도 한 명도 빠짐없이 얘기해줘 이야기가 길어지더라도 밤새겠어 네 편이 되어줄게 기대 800개로 I'll be there 네 맘엔 항상 내가 있어 서로 힘들 때라면 더욱더 함께 할게 my girl. Oh girl 넌 나의 정답 힘들 때 손잡고 축 처진 어깨 토닥토닥 sometimes 삶에 지쳐 힘들 때 내게로 와 내게로 와 I know that it's so hard 나도 너와 똑같아 yeah, 어렵다는 걸 잘 알지만 서로를 바라보며 한 걸음씩 천천히 걸어와 왜 걱정하고 있어 오지도 않을 우리 마지막이 언제지 알지 못하더라도 행여 무슨 일이 생겼어 보지 못하더라도 내게 기대 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 내게 기대 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 내게 기대 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 내게 기대
All right. Very cool. This was Lean on Me. Sally says Lean on Me is a hip hop unit. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. I enjoyed this a lot, actually. I love the horns. I feel like anytime you can incorporate like a good horn section, you've got me sold. So I love that. I also love the serenity of the song. Like there's just something really chill and laid back about this that I think is really well done, and not only I think in the delivery of the instrumentation, but I also feel like very well in terms of the hip hop unit of 17. So I really like that a lot. Um and I just appreciate how vibey it is. Like I feel like this to me, if any of the songs I think were to scream kind of like a chill summer vibe. I feel like Lean on Me would definitely be one of those songs that I feel like I could place myself in that moment of being like a nice, like, not super hot summer day or summer evening, excuse me, and listening to this. I think that would be super rad. Um, as well as that, I feel like this maybe be a little bit of a niche comment on this song, but it also is giving me some like light, uh, like Animal Crossing vibes. You know what I mean? Like I feel like this is like this is kind of giving me some like low key Animal Crossing feels, which I'm about. You know what I mean? I love the musicality from the most current Animal Crossing game. But that was like the first thing that I thought of when I was listening to this song. I was like, wow, this is really chill. Like this would be sick on my island. But I thought this was rad. I enjoyed it, you know. So um Jazz says LOL. Sally says KK Slayer should cover the song. That would be sick. I'd be about it. If they could do like a KK17 version of this song, I'd be on board. That I feel like I could get behind that 100%. So um I'd be down. I'd be down for sure. But yeah, I definitely was giving some light Animal Crossing vibes, which again, I feel like they've got the chillest music, some of the chillest music in video game. So I feel like that's an appropriate commentary I feel to make on this song. Um, but yeah, very cool. I enjoy this one a lot. I think actually in terms of the unit songs, that's gonna be a tough one. I don't know. They all have different vibes, so I feel like I want to speak out a turn, but I did really love Lean on Me, so that might be my favorite of the unit songs. But we're gonna keep it moving. Tonight we're keeping it moving with fast pace, which we weren't with Lean on Me, but we might be with this song. So let's check it out.
Yay, 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 yeah, what? You're going too fast, baby. I don't know what's wrong, baby. You're going too fast, baby. Listen. 또 이유는 모르는지 서로 얼굴을 붉히고 있어. 함께 잡고 있는 손엔 온기도 전혀 없어. 근데 왜 서로를 놓지 못해? Yo, Scoop 앞서 걸어 뒤를 돌아보며 나와의 간격을 무심한 듯 걸어가지만 발걸음을 맞춰주네. 익숙함 속 도마되어가는 지루함으로 점점 우리는 걷고 있는 긴 터널의 끝 부정하려 하진 않지.
Don't be gone too long. 가선 안 되는 그곳으로
Some flute?
둘이서 함께 걷던 너와 날 이젠 찾을 수 없어. You walk so quickly.
빠른 걸음으로 걷는 너를
맞춰줄 수 없는 내가
너처럼 빨리 걷는다고 몰아쳐대서
멀어지는
너와 나 이렇게 둘이서 going, we're going. 너와 나 둘이 going, we're going. 이렇게 둘이 going, we're going.
너와 나 이렇게 둘이서
going, we're going.
너와 나 둘이
going, we're going.
이렇게 둘이
going, we're going.
너와 나 이렇게 둘이서
going. 함께 잡고 있는 손에 온기가 없어. 이젠 서로 놓아줘야 하는지
잊어봤어. 우린 왜 잊어봤어. 이렇게
서로가 아파야만 하는지
재미가 없어. 약속을 잡아놔도 기다려지지 않아. 따스함도 넘쳐나니까 설렘은 다 녹았어. 그렇다 해도 놓치기엔 여태 시간들이 너무 아까워. 서로 만나면 어색함에 또 너의 걸음은 괜히 빨라져. Why?
Don't be gone too long. 가선 안 되는 그곳으로 가고 있어. 둘이서 함께 걷던 너와 날 이젠 찾을 수 없어. You walk so quickly.
빠른 걸음으로 걷는 너를
맞춰줄 수 없는 내가
너처럼 빨리 걷는다고 몰아쳐대서
멀어지는 너와 나 이렇게 둘이서
24/7 둘이 걸어봐도 멀어져가는 너의 뒷모습 뭘 어쩌겠어.
24/7 홀로 멀어져가 흘러가는 너를 그저 놔버리는데 어쩌겠어 걷는 너를 맞춰줄 수 없는 내가 맞춰줄처럼 네 걷는대로 몰아쳐 계속 멀어지는 너나 이렇게 둘이서 너와 나 둘이 이렇게 둘이 너와 나 이렇게 둘이서 너와 나 둘이 이렇게 둘이 이렇게 둘이서
Wow. Oh my God. That was awesome. That was 17's Fast Pace off their third mini album, Going 17. Thank you, Sally, for the pick, of course. Wow. I enjoyed this one thoroughly. This was awesome. Sally says Fast Pace is an all 13 member song. Very nice. Kaylee says spy movie vibes. I would also concur on that. Connie says this song gives me tango vibes. IDKY, definitely. I think a lot has to do with like the chord structures. So I definitely like that. Jazz says so good. Kala says I'm back, and also said it sounds like they were saying oink oink oink. I'm generally wondering if they did. I don't know. Any carrots could notate that. I don't know. Could be your ears playing tricks on you as well. So, Cookie says definitely tango vibes. Yeah, I think Connie nailed it on the head. Definitely tango vibes. I think it has a lot to do with, like, no pun intended, the pace of the song. But I do think that it has, like, quarterly and structurally wise, definitely takes a lot of cues from tango, like music, tango type music. So I definitely like that. There's a lot of instrumentation layering going on in this song, and I think it's great. Like, I think this is a pretty good masterclass in arrangement, just because I think not only do you have to take the task of arranging 13 different vocalists, but I also feel like for them to make it make sense, as well as that to kind of incorporate this really interesting and intricate sort of instrumentation of the song, which I really love. There's like some flute moments. I loved like the bass riffing. The piano work was incredible. There's like a little bit of guitar, awesome bass work as well in this song. A lot of great movement from the bassist, so I appreciate that. And then like you had some horn sections. I think it kind of combined a lot of different unique elements to the song, but I think this had such a great like groove to it. I think their vocals were really nice. I loved a lot of the vocal bends that they used to kind of inflect like a little bit more emotion in the track. So I thought that was really sick. There's a lot of great runs, especially like the ending chorus of this song. I thought that was insanely sick. But yeah, I think this one is a sleeper song on this release. My favorite so far, I would say, by a landslide. I feel like Lean On Me is up there, certainly, but I feel like Fast Pace, if I could go back and listen to any song again, I would probably go back and listen to Fast Paced first. I mean, obviously, we got a couple more. Maybe I could bite my tongue, but I feel like Fast Pace was so interesting. So, okay, and everyone was saying, I think they were saying going. Guggy says I can't unhear oink oink. I think it's the repetitious nature of it, potentially. So, all right, cool. The next one is Don't Listen in Secret. So we are in fact not doing that. So that's good. Let's check it out though. Ooh, a vocal subunit. Let's go.
우리 멀어져요. 그럼 잡음돼요. 멀어지지 않게 잡았으면 됐을 텐데. 알아 그걸 알아 그렇지만 그게 말처럼 쉽지 않아.
지나면 점점 다 잊혀질 수나 있을까요? 행여나 뒤돌아봤을 때 이 노래 들을게. 몰래 듣지 말아요. 들리지 않는 노래가 돼도 그대 위해 만든 이 노래 몰래 듣지 마요. 슬픈 한 노래는 듣고 눈물 흘려도 돼요. 음악은 원래 그런 거니까 너가 들어야만 해. 이 노래 듣고 모른 척하지 말아요. 내 맘을 듣고 있다면 다시 내게 와줄 수는 없나요? 그래 아직 난 기다리다 지치기까지 가까마 듣게 무서워지지만 그래도 시간을 믿어본다. 다들 여기라 하니까 바보 같아도 눈 감아도 달라지는 건 없으니까 몰래 듣지 말아요. 들리지 않는 노래가 돼도 그대 위해 그대 I'm a fool for you 만든 이 노래 몰래 듣지 마요. 이제 와서 대체 내가 뭐를 할 수 있을까요? 무작정 우리 함께였던 여기서 있어 나의 그대야. 몰래 듣지 말아요. 들리지 않을 노래 그런 노래가 된대도 그대 너와 위해 그대 I'm a fool for you 만든 이 노래 그대 I'll be 듣지 마요. 몰래 듣지 마요. 몰래 듣지 마요.
All right, very cool. This was 17. Don't listen in secret. Very cool. Very cool. Let's see. Sally says, "Don't listen in secret" is a vocal unit song. Kaylee says, "This one made me cry once when seeing a video of it live." Fair, respect. Jazz says, "Oh, this one." Connie says, "This is my favorite song on the album." Very nice. Jazz says, "I love this one." Kunky says, "Ugh, not another ballad." Oh wait, I love ballads. And Kala says, "This is gorgeous." Very nice. Oh, and Connie says, "So good." Very cool. I enjoyed this. I feel as though I already knew this was gonna be good. As soon as Sally said that this is gonna be a vocal unit song, I was like, "This is gonna be good." Like, as almost dead set on being a ballad, which I love. I think that's incredible. But again, I think very similarly to Fast Pace, I think I got to give a lot of credit to whoever did a lot of the composition for this release. Just because I think to me, it's like there's a lot of dynamicism between the vocal unit, I would argue, of 17. They've got some really phenomenal vocalists. And I think this one, there's a lot of great layering going on between all of them where, you know, you had different moments of each member kind of spotlighted, but then as well as that being amplified even more so by like ensemble vocals or harmonies or, you know, maybe doing like a little bit of ad-libbing. I think that kind of, again, just pushes the song a little bit more forward, and I think it keeps the momentum of the track in a really good spot. I like the instrumentation. I think it was very good, like the piano, acoustic guitar, drumming, a little bit of light bass work. I feel like that's always a tried and true. It works out really well. I don't feel that much indifferent about this song in that sort of category, so I love that. But I feel like the song kind of takes its ebbs and flows throughout, which I love. But I do feel like towards like the second chorus bridge section of the song is when it really kind of picks up. There's like a lot of cool like backing vocals in that part of the song, and then as well as that, I think they had like a lot of great ad libs and like a little bit of vocal runs at the end that I think just kind of put the cherry on top for me for this song. So definitely love this one a lot. I feel like ballads are usually pretty good in my opinion for the most part. So I never really have anything that I'm like, ooh, this wasn't hidden. But I felt like the pace of the song was good as well. It didn't feel like one of those. It didn't feel like a really slow ballad. It had a good movement to it. So I definitely appreciate that a lot as well too. So very nice, very nice. The next one we've got here is I Don't Know. So let's check it out.
들어가자 잠깐 예민한 날이 손시계 소리 나는 방 궁금증에 비해 다소 짧아진 물음은 정적을게 대화 속엔 불만스러운 느낌들이 가득 차 넘쳐나 더 이상은 안돼 한숨에 묻혀버린 주변에 고요해 숨 막힐 듯 해도 입 다물고 있는 게 차라리 속편해 딱딱해진 관계 해소되지 않은 싸움 끝내 열리는 밤은 원점이 돼 고개 돌린 채 탐에게 똑같은 곳을 또 헤매고 있어 모든 게 다 낯설게만 느껴져 이제는 정말 끝내야 될까 글쎄 잘 몰라 나도 잘 몰라 또 눈물이 흘러 못 모르는 눈물이 흘러 예전엔 너와 나 그리운 걸까 글쎄 잘 몰라 나도 잘 몰라 또 눈물이 흘러 한없이 눈물이 흘러 이제는 정말 끝내야 될까 글쎄 잘 몰라 나도 잘 몰라
Daydreaming in the midst of the night You brush my thoughts and sweep my sleep away Yeah 이제 왔어 I miss all the times 불필요해 There are plenty more times we'll miss anyway It's painful to face you 듣고 싶어 하는 답변 알면서도 괜히 빗돌아지는 감정 다시 또 빗고 있는 흉터와 죄책감 떠올라오는 병변의 폐쇄감
똑같은 곳을 또 헤매고 있어 모든 게 다 낯설게만 느껴져 이제는 정말 끝내야 될까 글쎄 잘 몰라 나도 잘 몰라 또 눈물이 흘러 못 모르는 눈물이 흘러 예전엔 너와 나 그리운 걸까 글쎄 잘 몰라 나도 잘 몰라 또 눈물이 흘러 한없이 눈물이 흘러 이제는 정말 끝내야 될까 글쎄 잘 몰라 나도 잘 몰라 서로 어긋나 있는 길 건너편 멍하니 서 있는 너에게 물어 다시 되돌아갈 수 없는 걸까 글쎄 잘 몰라 나도 잘 몰라 서로 어긋나 있는 길 건너편 멍하게 서 있는 너에게 물어 다시 되돌아갈 수 없는 걸까 글쎄 잘 몰라 나도 잘 몰라 왜 또 눈물이 흘러 멈추지 않고서 흘러 할 것만 같아 아니 이젠 알아 너 아님 안 돼 보내면 안 돼 왜 이제서야 나네 모습이 보이는지 떨어진 날 안아줄 수 있을까 글쎄 잘 몰라 나도 잘 몰라
All right, very cool. That was I Don't Know. Sally says, I don't know, is S Coops, Junghan, Jun, Wanwoo, Woozy, Sungkwan, and Vernon. Very nice, very nice. I enjoyed that one a lot. I loved the beat. I was a little unsure about it at first because I was like, there's definitely moments of the song where I was like, especially towards the beginning, where I was like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna hit or like hit a groove for me. But I felt like this one definitely turned around a lot, and I think it has a lot to do with just like the members in this song. Um, I loved a lot of like the top end vocals as well. I'm almost positive that was either, I know Woozy has a pretty high register, so I think potentially it could have been Woozy, but that like do 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 do, I feel like that melody for whatever reason is very ear candy, and it kind of dragged me into how much I appreciated the chorus of the song. I do love a lot of the rapping sections in this song. I'd say probably my favorite was actually Vernon. I say that as like a derogatory. I do like Vernon's rapping sections. But I feel like he's such a good rapper, and I feel like in this song specifically, he felt like dynamically the most interesting to me. So I like that. Um, as well as I think there was definitely some moments of like pop off, which I mean I would imagine Sung Kwan did, along with maybe some from Woozy certainly. Um, but I thought it was very nice. The composition was really really clean. I liked the like the snare drum choice that they use because I think it kind of has this sort of like pop, and it had like a little bit of reverb to it, so I feel like it stuck out a little bit more than the atypical. So I imagine that was maybe intentional from like the music perspective, which was cool. But yeah, very like dynamically interesting song. I think to me, along with like for whatever reason why I like the snare in the song, I think as well as that I like that the song instrumentally wasn't like really heavy, but I appreciate that the instrumentals kind of acted as more of a bass line for the rest of the track, and then they stacked some really beautiful like vocals, and like wherever they couldn't add like an instrument to it, I feel like they more than made up for it in terms of the vocals. So I like that they kind of built it around that and just kind of, stacked different layer parts on the song. I think that really made it dynamically interesting for me. So I love that. So great song. I feel like this one seems like it got the least amount of views on this release, which is surprising because I thought it was very interesting. But I could understand maybe potentially why people maybe didn't like it, since it might not be as, I guess, upbeat per se. So very interesting, very interesting. All right, well, we're gonna move on to the final one of this one. It looks like it is Smile Forever. So let's check it out. Did I click it? Okay, sorry.
그냥 왠지 모르게 가끔씩 문득 그런 생각이 자꾸만 들어 요즘 이렇게나 행복하고 아름다운 너 그리고 난 부럽지 않은
Gorgeous guitar. Wow.
그런 우리가 정말 언젠가 불행하게도 떨어지게 되면 그땐 어떡하지 물론 그럴 일 없겠지만 이런 상상은 정말 하기도 싫은 가끔씩 떠올라 넌 부디 이런 생각나지 않길 함께라서 웃을 수 있고 너라서 울 수도 있어 그렇게라도 못할 게 어딨어
언제 어디에 있어도 함께 하지 못해도 우린 늘 그렇듯 웃음꽃 피워요 그대 미소에 봄이 돼줄게요 아낌없이 난 늘 너에게 받기만 하는 것만 같아 그래서 눈물 나도록 고맙고 더 미안해 과가 나주고만 싶어도 왠지 모르는 불안함 왜
망설이는 거 뭔지 이러고 싶지 않은데 하늘이 높고 바람은 차고 바다가 넓고 푸른 것처럼
내 눈엔 너가 그저 당연하게 바라봐질까봐 그게 불안해서 이러는 것만 같아 널 잃어버릴까봐 부디 넌 나가지 않기를 Oh no 함께라서 웃을 수 있고 너라서 울 수도 있어 그렇게라도 못할 게 어딨어 마지막이란 말 하지마 영원히 내가 너의 곁에 남아있을 테니 우리 정말 무슨 일 있어도 언제나 그랬듯 함께 있을 거예요 마지막이란 말 하지마 영원히 무슨 일 있어도 우린 늘 그렇듯 웃음꽃 피워요
Wow.
언제 어디에 있어도 함께하지 못해도 우린 늘 그렇듯 웃음꽃 피워요 그대 미소에 봄이 돼줄게요
Wow. All right. That was 17 Smile Flower off of their third mini album, Going 17. Let's see some comments here. Sally says Smile Flower is all 13 members. Connie says the song is so beautiful. Gungi says it's another great song. I would agree. I think if there was one adjective I feel like I could describe this song is that is very pure. There's something about it that is very unadulterated in the sense of like I have spoken a lot about ballads tonight. I'll probably speak about ballads the next time we stream and I'll probably continue to speak about ballads in the future. But I think there's something really unadulterated about like something like this type of song where like the strings kind of add that emotional tension to the song. The acoustic guitar was really gorgeous, and whoever wrote the guitar work for that did an excellent job. There's like little bits of piano again to that add to the not only I think the guitar work in this, but as well as a kind of the emotional aspect of the song. I think vocal delivery was incredible from all the members. They really kind of touched on a lot of sweet points on the song, and I feel like, I feel like if you have a bias to any of these members, I definitely feel like they got, a good spotlight in this song specifically, which was really great. But I just appreciate that there isn't too much to mask their vocals, and I think that that's kind of what is so pure about the song is just like, wow, like you can really kind of take in a lot of how great their vocals are without really having to delve too much into the song. You know what I mean? Like you can really think about it from an outside perspective and just say, wow, this song is like really beautifully composed. The vocals are incredible, but I feel like maybe potentially, and this usually goes true, but like I'd imagine this song lyrically is also very poignant and very strong. So I feel like if you aren't getting it from the perspective of the musicality side of things, I would imagine, if you're more of a lyricism person, then I feel like there's some really beautiful lyrics to go along with the song. So great closer to this album. I definitely like this one a lot. And again, I think this just purity in its essence, I think was really nice. So in terms of favorites, I liked Smile Forever. I liked Fast Pace, Lean on Me, Boom Boom, and I don't know. I want to say either an honorable mention to Don't Listen in Secret or I Don't Know. I feel like those were I think to me those were the ones that I enjoyed the most. I would say all of it. I mean, I enjoyed about half of it. I mean, not to say that any of them were particularly bad by any means, but I definitely feel like about half the record there was at least 4 songs that I was like, damn, these were great. So, I wouldn't say, like I said, very similarly to XLOV. I think there is a good. I did not list all the songs. I said I liked Boom. Oh, okay, here. Boom Boom, Lean on Me, Fast Pace, and Smile Flower. That's 4 songs out of 8. So that's half. I did list all the songs by name though, so. But yeah, I don't know. They were all great. Shout outs to 17. They're incredible. I feel like I say that every time we I feel like we say that every time we check out 17, but man, I given that I couldn't even figure out how to go through their own discography, I feel like just shows that I need to really do my homework and check out some of those hidden gems. So I did narrow it down. But very cool, very cool. Gunky would like me to check out the YDBB record instead. Okay, very interesting. I am down though. All right, cool. All right, this is 11 songs. We've got quite the mix here. All right, very sick. I think I'll probably do intro, and Dizzy together. So very nice. This is YDBB's newest album, Coda. If you checked out some of the deep dives we've done and coverage of YDBB, I'm checking out their new album. So very nice. Gunky said, I hope so. It's one of my top 5 albums of this year. Damn. Okay, let's go. So, all right, let's get into intro and Dizzy.
나는 지지 않았습니다. 어지러운 내 맘 시간에 휩쓸려 한 걸음만 더 내딛는 발에 넘어질까 휘청이 닿고 멈출 수는 없는 거야 비틀릴 듯한 날도 언제나 내가 손에 쥔 것들
All right, very cool. That was intro and Dizzy. Very nice, very nice. Um, if my memory serves me correct, I believe Dizzy was one of the I think one of the singles that we listened to, or not singles, MVs we watched. So, um, I really liked revisiting this one. I still feel like this was such a solid song. I love the melody. I don't know. I don't know if my mic picked up on this, but I was definitely humming along to like the final chorus because I was like trying to remember the melody that she used. But I was definitely enjoying myself thoroughly. Um, but I think the song just hits so well. Um, I think to me, like her voice just kind of has this sort of clarity to it that okay, I heard you humming. Thank you. I think there's just such a clarity to this song that I think her voice really symbolizes really well. And I think in a group, in a band setting, I think she does a really great job of really defining the song. Obviously I believe that I believe that I believe one of their guitarists also does the singing as well. Which he also has an incredible voice too. But I think their composition together works out really well. And I like that this song has a lot of great dynamics to it. Their drummer is incredible. I think I remember saying that when we checked out Dizzy initially. But I love just kind of uh, just kind of the vibe of that. I think it really kind of adds that sort of dynamic touch to it. So, and especially towards the end, I think that final chorus really has a lot of punch to the end. And I loved a little bit of like the piano moments in this song. I feel like maybe it is a little bit of the unsung hero in this track. Obviously you get that really kind of cool distorted guitar section, like more rock or alt, like indie rock sort of feel to the guitar work, and the drumming has like a lot of good like emphasis to it. The bass work kind of in that like big band sound, and I think the piano adds like this really gorgeous touch to the song. But as well as that, I think there was a lot of cool like melody choices that I think meshed up well with the vocals of the song. So I definitely feel like to me it was a good vibe. So yes, so I thought this was really rad. I'm glad that I got to listen to this one again. But if you want to check out my full thoughts, check out the videos we did on Dizzy and 20s. I think that was the other single, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I enjoyed this one. This one was rad. So no Santa, hello. Thank you. Thanks for hanging out. Let's see. And then Gunky says, didn't someone say they wanted long song? This album has it. Yeah, definitely. I could see it, which is good. Love this song, but probably my fourth favorite on the release. Very nice. No Santa says, hello everyone. Are you all booked up for the rest of the night? I know we have Lucy after this. So if it's not too fairly long, then I probably could squeeze it in, but we're going to try to do what we can tonight, hopefully. So yeah, so if you got a shorter release potentially, No Santa, let me know and I will queue it up. But all right, we're going to keep it moving. The next one we've got is Love Song. So check it out. I like that like recorded vibe. That's cool. Like a demo. Ooh.
나의 모든 것들은 안개 속의 새처럼 멀어지기만 해. 잊혀지는 일들로 잊지 못하는 일로 무뎌지겠지만 살아갈 거야. 내일도 그렇게 너와 같이 사랑해 볼 거야. 볕이 드는 하늘을 그려봐. 눈부신
Piano riff is tight.
사랑은 절대 지지 않기에 우리의 밤은 영원할 거야. 그러니 울지 마. 우리 사랑의 빛이 있기에 나의 짐은 영원할 거야. 그렇게 나아가 나에게로 들려줘. 움츠러드는 어깨 부서진
cool chord phrasing.
위에 희망을 부어줘. 너의 절망까지 손 내밀어 주네. 사랑은 절대 지지 않기에 우리의 밤은 영원할 거야. 그러니 울지 마. 우리 사랑의 빛이 있기에 나의 짐은 영원할 거야. 그렇게 나아가 나에게로 들려줘. 나에게로 들려줘. 나에게로 들려줘.
Ooh, wow. Wow, the build up. Wow, holy shit. The little drum roll. All right, very cool. This was YDBB's Love Song from their album Coda. Very nice. Couple comments on in chat here. Let's see what we got. Yes, 20s is the sing. Okay, very nice. Thank you, Gunky. Always forget how much I like this song, Gunky says as well. If the song feels so full and I love it. Very cool, very cool. It says I'm always so late for album streams. I always miss it. I've got 2 4-song albums on the playlist. I'd love for you to get into sometime. Depending upon how quick this one moves, I probably could squeeze it in. If there's one that you prefer over the other No Santa, let me know. I'll gladly throw it on. Jazz says very nice, especially love the ending. I very much like the ending as well. Very climactic. I think to me the specialness of this song was I like the beginning. I thought that was really cool. I love when songs kind of start off in a like demo-ish or like you record it on your phone, because I think that just speaks to like band culture in my opinion, and I think that that's really cool. I don't feel as though bands really do that as much because, you know, like they want the polished material, and I get that. But I feel like there's just something very like personable about that and like real. And so I really like that a ton. But this song was very cool. I like the ebbs and flows that this song kind of builds to. I loved a lot of the drumming in this song specifically. I think as mentioned in Dizzy, I feel like it adds such a dynamic component to this song, more specifically than maybe some of the other songs that we've listened to so far, which I think is great. You know, like there's a lot of great build moments. I love a lot of the drum roll kind of thing, very evocative of like a like band in like high school and stuff. I thought that was really cool. As well as that the piano work on this, I think is again very similarly to Dizzy. I feel like is a little bit more of that unsung hero. There's a lot of cool piano chords. I think the phrasing in this song was also really incredible, very like dynamically interesting as well to play with along with the drumming. I love that kind of like little bit of guitar solo in that like final chorus slash like crescendo moment of the song. So I thought that was really rad. Her vocals shine really well, but I feel like Dobbin's vocals shine really well in this song, but I do feel like maybe potentially overshadowed by like the instrumentation of the song. I love the horns too. I thought that was great, a great addition as well. But yeah, I kind of like the theatrics of this song. I thought it was very well put together, so I definitely liked it. Gunky says it helps that they write and produce their own music, so you get the cool things like the intro. That is true. So I appreciate kind of the nuance that they have brought with this release. So very nice, very nice. All right, well, we're gonna keep it moving. The next one is Drop. So let's check it out.
서두르면 난 조금만 뛰어도 숨이 가빠 겁이 많은지 두근거리는 날엔 멈춰서서 눈만 깜빡이게 되었어 그런 내게 너는 빗방울 같아 피할 수 없게 세상 속으로 데려다줘 이제 막 피어난 것처럼 눈부셔 유난히 멋진 나를 언제나 도망치듯이 떠나가 버리지만 손끝을 흐르는 이 순간이 매일을 선물 같아 해도 하나의 헤매이던 날 걷잡을 수 없이 떠오르는 밤의 해답이 눈앞으로 지나간데도 점점 찾고 싶지 않게 되었어 그런 내게 너는 빗방울 같아 피할 수 없게 나타나서 세상 속으로 데려다줘 이제 막 피어난 것처럼 눈부셔 손금을 마주대고 발 디딜 수 있는 용기를 줘 으스러질 만큼이나 나를 마주할 내 자신도 받아낼 수 있는 자신도 난 기다리고 있어 유난히 멋진 날은 언제나 도망치듯이 떠나가 버리지만 잊을 수 없는
nice key change.
언제나 잊고 싶은 마음에 살게 하지만 손끝을 흐르는 이 순간이 매일을 선물 같아 또 하나의 계절을 난 기다려
The piano solo? Let's go. Very nice. All right. This was track 4, Drop, from YDBB's newest album, Coda. Very good. I feel like this one is vastly different sonically from the other songs, which I'm very curious to see, I guess, how far out they will go with this release. But I thought it was nice. I definitely heard a lot more of their bass. I'm pretty positive if I saw in the MV, I think that their bass player uses a 5-string bass, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Um, but there's just such a good like low end warmth to their bass playing in this one, and I love like a lot of his like bass riffing in this song. Very smooth, very clean transitions. It was very nice. I love the piano in this, very similarly to jazz. I thought it was so good, especially that end, like that little bit of piano solo at the end was super rad. But I think this one was a little bit more subtle. There was also some moments where Yu Dabin, I think, popped off vocally. There's a few like spurts of like different vocal runs that I was like, ooh, damn. I'm like, she's really kind of like nonchalantly throwing those into into the song, which I appreciate. Um, but I thought this was very interesting. I liked it. The key change was really cool too. I agree with Gunky. Gotta love a key change. So I definitely appreciate that, and I think that this one objectively, I feel like has pushed their creativity a little bit more. Like I don't like if I'm basing this based off of the two singles, Dizzy and 20s, like I wouldn't have thought that they would have a song like this. So I definitely feel like this one, there was a lot of interesting arrangements going on in this song that I don't know I would have associated from the singles, which is always great. I think that's what truly surprises me a lot about these types of artists is like you could just have pretty much anything in a song like this, and I think that that's really incredible. So very nice. Jazz says that they love this one. Very nice. And Gunky says, I love how they do a good job highlighting the piano in this release. Yeah, I think I can't speak for previous releases, but I feel like this one I feel like there's a lot more attention to detail in terms of all the members. Like, you know, you got some really phenomenal guitar work and backing vocals. You've got some great piano work. You've got some great bass work. You've got some great singing work from Yu Dabin. You've got some great drumming work as well. So I do feel like there's a good mix of all of them in the songs that we've listened to so far. So I appreciate that. I think that's hard to do, and they've done it, I would argue, pretty effortlessly. So very nice. All right. Well, we're going to keep it moving. The next one is track 5, which is By the Water's Edge. So check it out.
감나무 햇가지를 비틀어 너의 목에 감긴다. 맑다는 것아 너는 참으로 잔인하다. 이토록 여유 좋은 저녁도 허벅지를 꼬집는다. 검다는 것아 너는 참으로 애처롭다. 환상 속에 비틀려 꿈을 깨지 않는다. 이 환상 속에 비틀려 꿈을 깨지 않는다. 비웃는 것아 너는 참으로 더 갖고파. 널 종이 위에다 그렸는데 여전히 더 아름답다.
Wow. What a great run.
환상 속에 비틀려 꿈을 깨지 않는다. 이 환상 속에 비틀려 꿈을 깨지 않는다.
Ooh.
환상 속에 비틀려
Piano line? Awesome.
꿈을 깨지 않는다. 이 환상 속에 비틀려 꿈을 깨지 않는다.
that off time? Ooh.
내 것이 아닌 너는 참으로.
Wow. Okay. I'll be honest. I thought it was gonna go for a little longer. Very interesting. Very interesting. That was By the Water's Edge. Very nice. He says this actually would be the song I like the least, but it's still good. Wow, that is surprising for you. I feel. I'm a little shocked by that answer. Jazz says piano killing it again. Very nice. I like this one a lot. I think to me, I think this is the euphemism that I think people use in music, which is, I feel like to me it is the embodiment of being taken to church. You know, like I do feel like this one had like a soulfulness that I liked. I also like the playfulness in terms of like the structure of the song, like a lot of rhythm changes, like stops and starts. Like I feel like dynamically it was very fun in that aspect. The piano work was nuts in this song. There was a lot of cool like riffing going on. Now I think between like actually all of the members of YDBB, which I thought was really cool. Like the drumming went off, like the bass work was crazy, like that guitar solo at the end was wild. There's a lot of insane like piano runs. There's some like great vocals from U Dobbin. So I would say this is probably one of my favorites, just by pure like from a pure dynamic standpoint. I can definitely agree with Gunky that I feel like it could have been a little bit longer. It does feel a little bit short lived. But I liked it. This was just I think this was like the epitome of really just letting the band loose. So I think they did it justice, certainly. So I like it. It is maybe a little bit off the rails, but I appreciate it. So really, really sick. Kaylee says, well, that one is my favorite so far. Andy hit it with the 3 fire emojis. We love it. Gogi says they really should have made the song at least 3 minutes. They went off at the end for sure, and of course the piano. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, I think I definitely feel like it is. Again, it ends very abruptly, but it was so good. So I can agree from the standpoint of I wish it was longer, but I also am like, wow, like the contents within the song was great. So all right. We're more than halfway through now at this point. This one is Sandcastle / Intermission. So let's check it out.
잘 봐, 모래가 젖은 자리에
Great piano chords. Wow.
꿈들이 오갔는지. 사랑은 두려울 만큼 더덥고 그럼에도 나를 이 파도 앞에 세우네. 잘 가, 그 배가 떠난 자리에 우리 어떤 것을 남겨뒀는지. 이별은 지겨울 만큼 많았고 그럼에도 나를 이 파도 앞에 세우네. 나는 기울어져. 사랑은 두려울 만큼 더덥고 그럼에도 그 배가 떠난 자리에 우리 어떤 것을 남겨뒀는지 이별은 지겨울 만큼 많았고 그럼에도 나를 이 파도 앞에 세우네. 나는 기울어져 겁없이도 너를 혼자 두지 않으려. 너를 안으로 갈래. 너를 안으로 갈래.
Wow. That was gorgeous. All right, very nice. That was Sandcastle Intermission. Very nice. Um I'll keep this one short but brief, but I do feel like it this to me was extremely well written. There's a few things that I loved about this song. First, it sounds like it was recorded with actual piano, not like a keyboard. Like you could tell, you could hear like a lot of the way that their keyboard is like pressing down like each of the pedals on a piano. You can tell like it's kind of got a live room warmth to it, which I love. Yu Dobbin's voice sounds incredible on this song. I think she sounds gorgeous. I love her tone. I feel like she kind of messes in that sort of space of like really gorgeous vocals, but as well as that, I love that they I love that she can kind of clean her voice up in such a really gorgeous way. Like there's something about it that I love. She again can kind of deliver such a more raw take, but I feel like this was just so like serene, so beautiful, and it definitely obviously meshes well with the sound there. Piano work was incredible. I think this was like probably by far my favorite work so far. I also like just from I guess a musical standpoint was kind of giving some like Studio Ghibli type vibes, which for those who know, I love Studio Ghibli. Definitely same in a similar sort of tonality or like structure to a Miyazaki song. So I definitely like that a lot, and I don't know if that was the intention or not, but I definitely feel like to me it definitely resonated in that aspect. So great song. I will definitely go back and listen to it as well too. So very nice. We have listened to 20s. I did really love it. We are probably going to go back again and listen to it again, which I'm stoked about since I haven't listened to it since the time we streamed it. So very, very cool. Andy says, or Gunky says, I really like this one. Nice and relaxing. Andy says that's pretty. Gunky says it definitely was a piano. I feel like I wanted to clarify because I feel like, you know, I like keyboards are great. Like I love it, but I think there's just an authenticity to like real piano, like an actual piano, like recording a piano with a microphone. I think there's just an authenticness that I appreciate. So, while I understand it was probably like a little bit of a joke, but I appreciate the attention to detail. So, Gunky says we're coming to my top 2 songs in the release: 20s, my favorite, and Salute, which is my second. So, very nice. Let's get into 20s then.
생각보다 무뎌던 걸까 포기한 걸까 높다란 벽도 두렵지 않아 커버린 건가 버텨내 더는 시간이 없겠지 이젠 떠나갈 때겠지
That ended sick. Very nice, very nice. This is 20s by YDBB from Coda. So very nice, very nice. I was gonna say even better a second time around for sure, Jazz. I would agree. Connie says I like this one. Uni says, okay, I see why this is your fave. Gaki says this is definitely one of my top songs of this year. I think we charted that the last time we listened to it. But if you want my true first commentary on this, please watch the video. I was shocked. I feel like I still am shocked by this song. It is so well written. It's definitely one of my favorites still, along with Dizzy. But I think this one's so much fun. Like this one, I think synth wise, comparatively to some of the other songs, I feel like the synth in this song was really good. Definitely a change of pace, I would argue, from some of their other songs on this release, which is cool. Experimenting, trying different things. But I also like the dynamics of this. The drumming's incredible. I think Yu Dobbin sounds awesome in this song. She's got such a good presence to her voice, and I feel like bigger songs like this, I feel like highlight her voice even more so than like more of the subtle songs. I love a good ballady type song, but I feel like these songs is really where you can hear a little bit more of that magic. So I love that. I love the arrangement. I think like the slap bass in some parts of the song really kind of add a cool like dynamic texture to the song, which I appreciate. And I don't know. I just really appreciate this one for what it is. I think it's still, like I said, listened to it the first time, loved it. Listen to the second time, love it. I probably will listen to this at least 20 more times and still love it, if not more. And so I feel like it is extremely well written. And I loved that each person kind of got their moment to shine, like, especially towards the end of the song. There's like that cool kind of like, again, that main like that da 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 like main guitar riff, and I love how the synth matches up with that. And then like you had a moment where like the bass kind of popped off a little bit at the end of the song, and then you had like that insane kind of like drum roll / like cymbal hit, like where you would hear in kind of more of a drum solo. I thought that was really rad that they included it at the end. Again, very dynamically interesting, and I also feel like it makes the end of the song feel more punchy, so I love that. But yeah, great song. Not surprised this is, again, one of Gunky's favorites, if not favorite song on this release, and one of my favorites. So great song, great song. He said, for Salute, I will just say the second half of the song is just amazing. So, all right, well, the time has come. Let's check out Salute then. Ooh.
서투른 파도가 부서지는 젖은 물결을 갈라내며 깃발을 꽂네 이 섬은 가득 아닐 거야 불피운 모래바닥 아래로 하나뿐인 그림을 그리자 눈앞은 자국뿐일 테지만 마르는 새는 이 섬을 사랑하게 될 거야 손꼽아 세워보아도 새파랗게 칠한 하루 붙잡지 않아도 내일은 우릴 속이지 않아 빗금을 헤아리던 나를 다 헤집어 지우자 눈 감으면 쏟아지는 불꽃 속에 축발 터뜨리자 서투른 파도가 부서지는 우리만의 바다를 찾아서 새로운 발자국을 새기자 마침내 우리
Oh, I like that hi-hat.
사랑하게
Cool.
될 거야
Nice.
손꼽아 세워보아도 새파랗게 칠한 하루는 붙잡지 않아도 내일은 우릴 속이지 않아 빗금을 헤아리던 나를 다 헤집어 지우자 눈 감으면 쏟아지는 불꽃 속에 축발 터뜨리자
Ooh. Ooh, the harmonies. Cool.
손꼽아 세워보아도
That was sick.
새파랗게 칠한 하루를 붙잡지 않아도 내일은 우릴 속이지 않아 빗금을 헤아리던 나를 다 헤집어 지우자 눈 감으면 쏟아지는 불꽃 속에 축발 터뜨리자 손꼽아 세워보아도 새파랗게 칠한 하루를 붙잡지 않아도 내일은 우릴 속이지 않아 빗금을 헤아리던 나를 다 헤집어 지우자 눈 감으면 쏟아지는 불꽃 속에 축발 터뜨리자
Wow. All right. That was track 8, Salute. Very nice. I think this one's my favorite from this album. I would be hard pressed to think that maybe, again, I could be wrong. Promises, Curtain Call, and to first Epilogue might have a chance. So I wanna say it is, but I would say this one's gonna be a very hard one to beat, in my opinion. I just think the dynamics on the song were off the chart. First immediate thought, and I don't mean to cop this one out at least, but it reminds me of, like, it could very easily be like an anime opening. You know what I mean? It's got that type of strength to it, so I love that. So I mean that in a very positive way. The vocals on this were incredible. I think UW just continues to kind of press her voice in a very distinct way, and I felt like this one she was really kind of, again, trying to get up into that, like, higher register, like full chest voice. So I definitely feel like, to me, I love that. I love that aspect of it, and she's really just kind of dynamically pushing herself. I would agree with Gunky that the second half of the song is insane. I love that, like, guitar, like, bass, like, harmonization riff. I thought that was super rad. You don't get to hear that too often, but I love that the guitar matched up with, like, that bass. It was super tight. It was super clean. And I love that. as well as I think the song just doesn't let up after that second half of the song. Like it just continues to build more momentum. I love at the end, like you just get this kind of like straight dynamic punch from the drumming. There's like I don't know if it could have potentially be like two-handed tapping on the electric guitar. I thought that was sick. There's like a cool kind of like solo like riff going on at the end of the song. The synth was kind of matching up with that. I thought was interesting as well too. It just seems like they had no hold bar on this song and just went loose, and I respect that. It's kind of similarly to By the Water's Edge for me, where I feel like they're just like, yeah, we're just gonna keep going, and once we feel the song is gonna end, that's when we'll like it'll just end, you know what I mean? So I appreciate that a ton. Yeah, I think Salute would definitely be my favorite from this release, hands down. So very nice. Guggy says the piano is cooking in the second half. I agree. The piano is sick. Uni says my fave so far as well. And Guggy says I knew you would love this one. And the rest of the songs won't beat this one. Okay, fair enough. But all right. Well, we're gonna keep it moving. The next one is Promises. So check it out.
춤을 추던 자리에 남겨진 발자국은 밀려오는 파도를 타고 멀리 떠나간 빈자리엔 남겨진 조각들만이 기억이란 이름으로 흩어지는 시간이 아쉬워 걸던 말은 어디로도 가지 못하고 여기 춤을 추던 자리에 남겨진 조각들만이 기억이란 이름으로 저 바다의 여름에 불어오네 푸른 바람아 눈물 열어 우린 그날을 기억해 푸른 여름과 찬란한 태양 지나가 지나쳐가 터질 것 같던 맘을 커져가는 순간을 두고 오는 건 왜 이리 어려운가 언젠가 이 순간을 다시 마주할 그날을 기대라는 이름으로 떠나지 못한데도 속절없는 시간은 뭔지도 모르겠더라니까 언젠가 이 순간을 다시 마주할 그날을 기대라는 믿음으로 푸른 바람아 지금 물결아 우린 그날을 기억해 푸른 여름과 찬란한 태양 지나가 지나쳐갈 스쳐 지나갈 이미 지나갈
Halftime.
파도를 나는 기억해 지나쳐갈
Drumming in this section is wild.
춤을 추던 자리에 남겨진 발자국은 밀려오는 파도를 타고 떠나간 빈자리엔 남겨진 조각들만
Mm. All right. This was Promises from YDBB and their album Coda. Very nice. Um, which is funny. I think I didn't even realize this, but there's another album from, I think I've shown them on stream before, Novelist. Their album that came out this year was also named Coda as well. So something in the water with the name Coda, which is really cool. I think for me, I definitely like this song. I think it is a little understated, certainly, but it's a really, really gorgeous song. Um, I guess very similarly to Sandcastle. I like the piano work in this. I think it's great. I think this one kind of hits a little bit differently comparatively to Sandcastle. I think the drumming in this is awesome. Like, their drummer is incredible. I know I've mentioned him a lot, but I feel like he definitely deserves his kudos. But I think there's just a dynamic to the way that he drums, and I feel like this song definitely hits a little bit stronger because of the drumming, which I like. Um, as well as that, the inclusion of the violin work and the orchestral arrangement of the song, I think was really gorgeously done as well. But I loved hearing like Dobbin's like longer like vocals. Like, I think the way that she kind of extends her voice in this song is just really beautiful. And I think that, you know, a song like this, where it's, again, time wise is a little bit longer, I think she's kind of able to have her voice, you know, play out in a more, you know, in a larger way. So I definitely appreciate that a ton. So I thought this was really rad. Like I said, Salute was such a high for me that I feel like Promises is really good, but it's definitely a tough one to beat, certainly. So, but I enjoyed it. This was a very gorgeous song, and I think it shows off more of the tender side of Yu Dobbin. So very nice. We're gonna move on to the next one, which is I think we probably could put Curtain Call and Epilogue first together. So, Guggy says, have you ever noticed they really enjoy bigger, fuller, and more epic parts towards the end of the song? That is true. I think it just has a lot to do with their composition, though, arguably. So, very interesting. Very interesting. All right. I think we'll probably put them together. We'll listen to Curtain Call and to first Epilogue together. I'd imagine they would roll over pretty well. So, just keep it moving.
어두운 날이 우리의 삶을 덮어가 좋은 기억조차도 이젠 희미해져가는 듯해
Wow. What an ending.
너는 창문 밖으로 본 적
Huh.
없던 풍경을 본다. 들판에 오르니 좋더라. 따뜻하더라. 창을 문지른다. 더는 없는 곁에서 울고 싶은 마음이 든다. 함께라면 어땠을까. 따뜻하던 창을 문지르다. 뱃속까지 문지르면 어떤 삶을
Oh, xylophone.
살
That's
수
cool.
있는지. 허전한 가슴을 벼려 내 같은 마음으로. 더는 너도 날 모르는 채 살리라. 허전한 가슴을 벼려 내 단단한 모습으로. 아주 조금 멀리서 웃는 소리에 울먹인다. 햇살은 여전히 좋구나. 따뜻하구나. 나는 이곳에서
That was cute. I like that. That was a good ending. All right, very nice. This was Curtain Call and Two First Epilogue from YDBB from their album Coda. Very nice. Let's see. Gunky says Curtain Call is my third favorite song. You can probably guess I absolutely love the vocals in it. To be fair, I also love the vocals. And Gunky says just I love that the last song threw you off. I don't think it threw me off. It definitely I didn't know what to expect. Very similarly to Sandcastle, but I liked it. No Santa says very good album. Enjoyed that a lot. Very nice, very nice. Curtain Call was excellent. I probably would put that in my favorites as well. I think it just kind of has it does have the classic like big ending to it. You know what I mean? Like it does feel like a lot of the implementation that they've used throughout this entire record. I do feel like it does culminate to the final song, which ironically is called Curtain Call. So I love that. I imagine it was probably intentional for that song to be the end. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Very big, very dynamic. I love the ending of it. I thought the ending specifically was just incredible. And I think it kind of, again, ties it all together for me. Zabin's voice was also incredible in that song as well, too, as Gunky mentioned before. Instrumentation was on another level as well, too. So I definitely appreciate that. I think for me, the only reason why I may have made some like distinct faces to first Epilogue, I kind of was thinking that I don't know, like I like it. To me, Curtain Call feels like the final song of the album. Like I'm kind of surprised that they didn't switch the track listing and have this one. I guess because Epilogue is at the end, but I'm kind of surprised that they hadn't. I'm kind of surprised that this wasn't before the end of the album. So I was a little surprised, but yeah, I kind of if I was put in the shoes here, I think maybe I would have changed the name of the last song to be something else and maybe put that before Curtain Call, just because I feel like if the album ended on Curtain Call, it would have just. And that's not to say that this song ruined it for me, but I do feel like they could have swapped it. Curtain Call just feels like a closer song. You know what I mean? Like to me, and I don't want to use a baseball analogy, but I'm going to do it. I feel like it is like, I feel like if it's like the bases are loaded, you have to get your best pitcher out there to close the game out. You're 1 out away from closing the game. I feel like Curtain Call would have been that song that just like you bring out your best character, you bring out your best pitcher in the game to close the game out. That to me, I feel like it was Curtain Call. So I am a little shocked that that is what it is, but Epilogue was very good as well too. I just kind of wish it was maybe track 10 versus track 11. So, personal favorites of mine, I'm gonna say I guess in somewhat order. I would say Salute Absolute is number one. I don't know. I feel like, oof. I'm gonna say Dizzy was my next favorite. 20s was third. By the Water's Edge was, I think, my next favorite, and then I'd probably close it out with Curtain Call. I think those would be my recommendations, at least from this album. And that's not to say, again, not the other songs weren't great, but I would argue those are the ones that stood out to me the most on this. I think honorable mention, Sandcastle is an incredible song too. So, I would say that's the vibe for sure. So, Gunky says, I wanted you to really hear the new Trident album, especially the cover they did, but I felt like you needed to hear this first. Fair enough. I agree Curtain Call should really be the ending. It felt like it was. But also, I know I'm not an album listener. I just slap songs on a playlist. That's fair. I feel like it is very... I would say as a chronic album listener, I will say this is very well put together in terms of song structure. You know what I mean? You get the intro, you get the middle of the song with the intermission, and then Epilogue being the final song. I think they did a great job of really kind of setting that expectation for an album. You know what I mean? It feels like, it does feel like a show almost. So I think they did a great job of making it feel cohesive throughout. So I love that. So very nice. Very cool. All right. Well, we're going to get into the final one of tonight, probably for me, because it's 11 o'clock and I am stretching my time here, but I'll do it because it's only 4 songs. But we are checking out Lucy's Sunflower last. This has been a highly contested release for me to check out, so I feel like we got to do it. And continuing on with the band theme, it would make sense. So, we are going to keep it rocking with Where's Your Love from Lucy's Sunflower EP. So, let's check it out.
조용하게 번지는 햇살 쉽게 다가와주는 바람 너의 눈길을 데려감고 헝클어지는 듯한 내 맘 너의 목소린 날 보지 않아 왠지 넌 날 바라봐도 날 들려줘도 날 말하진 않아 또다시 난 널 불러보면 사랑은 어쩌고 넌 거기 있어 오늘도 나만 여기 있어 잔뜩 신이 나 있는 눈빛 간지럽히는 웃음소리 쓸데없는 불안함일까 분명한 게임 건 맞는데 걷다 보니 숨이 차는 김에 날이 더운 김에 나도 좀 놔줄래 새벽밖에 없는 김에 날 부르면 내 입은 내가 찾아줄게 날 향하는 눈도 빛내줘 왠지 넌 날 바라봐도 날 들려줘도 날 말하진 않아 또다시 난 널 불러보면 사랑은 어쩌고 넌 거기 있어 오늘도 나만 어쩌면 난 속이 좁아서 널 사랑해서 숨길 수 없어 어쩌면 넌 날 생각하며 사랑해 이대로 늘 여기 있어 언제나 말해주고 있어 내일이 와도 난 여기 있어
Very nice. All right, that was "Where's Your Love" from Lucy. Very nice. I enjoyed this a lot. We did check this out on a recent catch up stream, so if you missed out, go check that video out. Um, I thought this was incredible. I do feel like Lucy doesn't miss in my mind. There's obviously some songs I feel like I like more than others that they've done, but I genuinely just love when they release new music. I think they've always continued to put out really beautiful arrangements and music, and this is no exception certainly. I will say that I think when I first listened to it, like I enjoyed it, but like as I listen to this song more and more, I think I start to love it more and more. And I would argue that's been my case for a lot of the Lucy material, but I think there is just this this aura to their title tracks that I feel like is always very appreciative, where I'm like, damn, I really like this song a lot, and then I just go and I just like binge listen to a lot of Lucy stuff. I think this one is very very much in that same sort of category. The chorus is extremely catchy. I think that they've always traditionally have done a really great job of focusing a lot of that energy to the choruses, so I love that. I think this one is just so dynamically fun, and I enjoy that element of it. As well as that, I loved again the violin selection in the song. I think the melody choice was so beautiful, and I just think there is an emotionality to the way that the violins speak in this song. But I think to me, the true magic of this song is like a little bit more in the subtleties of the song. Like there's a lot of cool like bass riffing going on, that I feel like isn't as pronounced, I guess, in some ways. It's like a little bit more hidden, but I think it's really nice. And like once you get to hear like a little bit of like the where like the bass kind of breaks off from like the main like melody choice, I thought it just kind of really opens the song up in my opinion. But another really great title track. Again, I feel like I'm Mystic Story pilled, so I'm not I am not going to shy away from that by any means, but I definitely enjoyed this title track a ton. So great stuff. So everybody was enjoying the Lucy vibes. Let's go. And it does look like In a Rush does have an MV. So we'll see. We'll get to it first, and if I feel like swapping it over, we'll do it. But all right. The next one is EIO, which is next. Guggy says EIO is a 100 out of 10. It's a banger. I love it so much. Okay. Let's get into it.
너 알아 그 짜증의 이유는 뜨면 제일 먼저 떠오른 대가 할까 말까 다행일까 다행인 게 당연한 게 당연찮아 우린다 괜히 너는 걸지도 Everything girl Everything's okay 몰라는 건 너 원하긴 해도 실컷 빨거나봐라 다들 속이 다 뒤집어져도
The hi-hat with the bass riffs, nice. Ooh, that bass riff, nice. Ooh. Wow. Holy shit. That was awesome. All right, that was EIO from Lucy's Sunflower. God damn. They I oh man. When you think you've heard it all at this point from them, they crack this one out. Everyone says EIO, my love EIO. Callus says full volume. Everyone's blasting it. Love to see it. Andy says I love the violin in this one. Yes. Agreed. Kyle says this song really takes everything I love about Lucy and smashes it together. Keely says I know. Uni says, but they didn't mention Omen not even once. Jazz says amazing. A song among songs. Oh, the EIO. Oh my god. Uni's cooking. I love it. I genuinely I have no notes. I feel like Cal kind of took my commentary, which is great. I feel like this does definitely take a lot of those. It does take a lot of the things that I love about Lucy, which again, like the violin work is incredible on this. Extremely dynamic, fun, a little riffy. I love that. The bass work in this was wild. There's a lot of cool like slap bassing and slapping popping going on in the song. There is like that really cool like drum section towards the end of the song that was just fucking gnarly. I love that. The vocals, I'm not gonna do it because I don't want to wake my neighbors up or my girlfriend because they'll kill me. But like that really cool like falsetto tone that they're using in the chorus, I think is incredible. And I just think it adds to like that level of dynamicism to the song that I would expect Lucy to do, which is great. It kind of pulls from some of their older discography in terms of like I think production, where it feels a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more full. But I feel like it also takes a lot from Where's Your Love, which is being the title track. So I think that's incredible. But yeah, this one, no notes. They destroyed this song. I love it. So this was awesome. So all right, well, I guess we'll check the video out. I'll fix my ears. All right. You're really making me do this on the fly, but it's okay. We're rocking. All right. Beautiful. I think we are good. All right. Very nice. Very nice. All right. This is In a Rush featuring Weinstein. I hope I pronounced their name correctly. Let's check it out.
또 이러냐니 넌 다 기억해요 넌 다 지나간 것 같이 날 돕는데 내게 좀 더 미안해요 그 후회를 마셔줘요 넌 아직도 뭔지 모른 채 멈춰 다가가다가 문득 이건 아니잖아 뭔가 이상하죠
Ooh, a 6-string bass? What the fuck? Wow.
그 흔한 필기 좀 마셔 내겐 더 이상 바랄 수 없게 떠올라가 순간인걸 Baby I can't take it more So please don't pull me anymore 대체 뭘 향한 게임인 거야 all day 다가가기만 하다 너만 찾아내면 거기에 나는 사라져 또 난 다급해져 사랑한다는 말조차 없어 다시 또 돌아가기 하는 다급해져 사라진다는 그 말은 더 이상 점점 도망가겠다는 것 말곤 없는 걸또 두고 갈 수조차 나는 없는 걸
후회하는 건 내 패시 화를 내는 대신 돌아서는 너의 뒷모습 자석처럼 쫓아가지 이길 수가 없네 잡생각은 쳤네 내가 다른 생각한다는 건 Oops 네 친구들의 아이디어지 Oops 누가 더 많이 좋아하는지 없지 잘못한 게 넌 항상 없지 사과를 받네 백설공주같이 둘만 있으면 다 괜찮은 건데 다른 사람들 신경 쓰다가 괜히 또
다급해져 사랑한다는 말조차 없어 다시 또 돌아가기 하는 다급해져 사라진다는 그 말은 더 이상 점점 도망가겠다는 것 말곤 없는 걸더 두고 갈 수조차 나는 없어 살아간다는 그 시간 여전히 너로 채우기를 바라는 게 다급하다는 그 말로 더 이상 점점 변해가는 것 같은 건 싫어서 더 돌아갈수록 다급한 뿐인걸
Oh. Very nice, very nice. All right, that was Lucy's In a Rush featuring Weinstein. Very nice, very nice. A couple comments. Cal says Brandon hates us. No, I would never. And I love Weinstein. Very nice. Guggy says, "Are you in a rush? A rush to get to bed?" I respect my sleep. That's that's all I'm gonna leave it at. Kaylee says Wang Sang always had 6-string bass. It's like his thing. I think for whatever reason I thought he only played 5 strings, but it makes sense that he plays 6 strings because he's a psychopath, but in a good way. Positive. Though he does occasionally play 5 strings and 4 strings. Okay, fair enough. Gungi says another great one. Yeah, I enjoyed this a lot. I think this one was equally equal is great. I feel like for me, I feel like Lucy is one of those groups that, again, this one was a little bit more subtle, I would argue, in its approach, but still has kind of like that Lucy ethos to like this sound of the music. So I definitely like that. I will say Wan Sang crushed this song. There was a lot of cool, like, again, riffs that he did that kind of like played off that main melody line of the song. There's also a lot of cool like rhythmic sections between the bass and the drumming in the song that I really like. There's like some subtle like movement shifts in the song that I think, you know, in a composition setting, I really appreciate a ton. I liked Weinstein. I've never heard of them before this point in this song, but I would assume he was doing the rapping section in the bridge of the song, which I really liked. I thought it was cool. It was a nice change of pace from what I feel like I would typically listen to in terms of Lucy material, so I appreciate that a lot. But yeah, super rad song, a little bit more low key. I feel like my energy levels were high because of EIO, but I feel like this one was a cool kind of chill vibey song. But there is like I feel like they do so well in the subtleties of the song that I really appreciate. So very nice, very nice. All right. We're gonna be getting into the last one with this which is Lanthus. Hopefully, I did not butcher that naming of that song, but we're gonna keep it moving. So check out the last one, track 4.
바람 따라 구름에 띄운 너 혹여 멀리 갈까 마음 졸여요 까치발 들고 잡아본다 하늘 바다 내 사랑은 그저 늘 그렇게 영원하지 않은 척을 하며 마르지 않을 내 사랑에서 자유로이 헤엄쳐 달라고 사랑은 어느새 하늘바다 되어 온 세상을 삼켜 한눈엔 볼 수 없고 이리로 저리로 갈피를 못 잡는 그 영원에 또 살아요.
Ooh, wow. Love that piano melody.
사랑은 어느새 하늘바다 되어 온 세상을 삼켜 한눈엔 볼 수 없고 이리로 저리로 갈피를 못 잡는 그 영원에 또 그렇게 사랑은 내 하늘바다 되어 한 줌에 그 한 번에 세상을 삼켜 이대로 무너져도 망설임 없을 영원에 그 사랑에 난
Oh, wow. Gorgeous song. All right, this is Lanthus. Hopefully, again, did not butchering the name of the song, which I do have a tendency to do. Kaylee says, Lanthus is a type of flower. And here's your lullaby to sleep. I did. I took a power nap. Kala says, good night, guys. And Kaylee says, by the way, this is Ye-chan, the violinist singing. Oh wow, that's awesome. He's got a gorgeous voice. Gunky says, so pretty, and Kaylee says, yeah, I was so excited when I found out he was singing. And it looks like Kala also did not know that as well. That's awesome. Great song to end this release on and the stream for me, which is great. Oh, I will do I will check it out real quick. I enjoyed this a lot. This was great. I think for me, like, Ye-chan's got a great voice. I hope that he gets to utilize it more in Lucy as we go further. But yeah, I thought this was a beautiful song. The piano work was gorgeous. Obviously, the violin was also incredible as well. It just seemed, it kind of gave, again, I know I mentioned this previously with YDBB, but this is also giving like some like low key like Studio Ghibli vibes. I'm thinking like the final song at like the end of Howl's Moving Castle. Like I forget what the song name for that one is, but it's kind of giving that sort of vibe to it, which I'm down. I love that. Y'all know I love that movie. But definitely was giving like end of movie vibes, you know. Just kind of like a beautiful send off. So I definitely appreciate this one. I'm glad he was able to kind of put this on the release. I don't know what type of lengths he had to go through to get this on the release, but it was gorgeously arranged, and would definitely put me to sleep in a good way. So Kaylee says it's his solo song. He wrote the lyrics and helped compose it and everything. Very nice. Uni says such a lovely song indeed, and also said there was mention of doing Itzy's 8-bit heart at the end, but I fear it would wake Brandon up too much after the lullaby. Listen, if there's anything that I could tell you about Brandon lore is that a bitch can fall asleep. I'll tell you what. So I have no problem sleeping. It's just the vibes are strong. So all right. We'll check it out. We'll do it. 8-bit heart. Okay. Very nice. Let's we have not checked out the title song. Preface to anybody that has checked out title, we have not checked out the title song, but we will check it out eventually at some point. But let's check out 8-bit heart first.
Welcome. Press any key to start. Loading.
Press start, you know where you are. Welcome to the universe, young real world. 이제 가봐야지 다 답답함 filter해봤어. Rizz. Bing bang, bada zing zang, bada bing bong, bing bam. Beat you any match, anywhere, anytime. What you talking about? What you talking about? 참아왔지 말도 안 되는 lies. 웃었지만 I'm so disappointed. Call me outside class, no shade, no tea. But obviously I'm offended. Hit go like pop 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 pop. 지워진 감정 다 새로워진 해. I'm offended. Emotion cut 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 cut. Don't break it up shut down.
What?
Why you always lying on my 8-bit heart? On my 8-bit heart. Why you always loading on my 8-bit? You crush my peace. You shut the I am defender. Dance 나도 뚜렷하지.
Interesting.
No,
Okay.
so what 보여도 거두는 듯. Yes, I know. 날이 계속 upgrade 중. It's my rule like some super mega maniac. 깨진 맘을 replay. 다시 채워가며 yeah. 외박까지 like pixel. 다시 우린 upgrade text. Excuse me, what the hell was that? I'm wondering who do you think you are? Question mark. Call me a side quest. No shade, no tea. But obviously I'm offended. Hit go like pop 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 pop. 지워진 감정 다 새로 고친 해. I'm offended. Emotion cut 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 cut. Don't back it up shut down. Why you always loading on my 8-bit heart? On my 8-bit heart. Why you always loading on my 8-bit? You push my peace. Just shut down. I am defended. Where are you hiding? Come back.
Okay.
Come back. Hello? Are you there? Don't leave me. What's it like there living on the outside? Are you happy in another game? Just follow. 이제 선명해. What's it feel like on the outside? Oh, you're back. I'm offended. Hit go like pop 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 pop. 지워진 감정 다 새로 고친 해. I'm offended. Don't back it up shut down. No. Why you always loading on my 8-bit heart? On my 8-bit heart. Why you always loading on my 8-bit? You crush my peace. Just shut down. I am defended. Oopsie.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I have to go.
Oh man, I have so many questions. I got I this was wild. Jazz says it kind of grew on me as it went on, but still not something I'd listen to again. um, oh man, you know what? I genuinely, I genuinely, I don't know what to think about this one. I feel like I'm very conflicted on this. There is definitely, I could definitely get where Jazz is coming from, and maybe it's just because I'm doing this at 11:30 at night and I should be asleep by now. Um, but I don't know how I feel about this one. I'll probably give this one a listen tomorrow when I feel like my brain has realigned its chemistry at this point. But this was crazy. This I think that I think regardless of how you choose to think crazy is defined, I think that this one is definitely, I think crazy as an adjective is definitely a great adjective to describe this song. Um I do feel like, to me, the only problem that I feel like m- might be a little bit much about the song is that, like, it is definitely like, it definitely was cooked up by somebody who has ADHD 100%. And I mean that with all the love in my heart. Some of my closest friends have ADHD, so I know what it is firsthand. And this is definitely for sure ADHD energy. This also feels like if you had like 3 or 4 or 5 different Pro Tool sessions loaded up, and you're just like, you know what if we just put all of these songs together? um I thought it was nuts, in a good way. I liked it. I feel like I want to say that I like it because it is interesting, and I do feel very conflicted on current Itzy stuff. But I felt like this one was definitely out there, and I'm for it. You know what I mean? Like, this type of energy, I feel like doesn't come around too often. So when it comes here, it is wild. But this definitely feels like you took some sort of drug, for sure, for sure. Or whoever composed it definitely took some sort of drug to compose this song. Because I don't know how you would try to sustain the mix for all of these different branches of the song. But I don't know. I would probably give, I think that if I was to really think about this, I would need to give this another listen to really kind of hone in on my commentary on this. But it is wild to have this be the closing song on the EP, and then as well as that to be like the most chaotic song. I feel like most people, unless you're like a diehard Itzy fan or you're just curious about the releases, like if you're just like, hey, I want to listen to whatever is new, I feel like this would be an absolute mind fuck to listen to if you've gone through and listened to the entire EP and you get to this song. Kudos to you. Maybe it's like, it's maybe, again, I'm gonna make a video game reference. Maybe it's like when you find Yoshi on top of the Mario Castle in Super Mario 64. You know what I mean? You've collected all the stars, and this is this is it, the end. So, um, I don't know. Very interesting. Very interesting. I think I'll leave my commentary at that before I put my foot in my mouth. Um, Very interesting. No, says sorry for pinging you at midnight. By the way, I didn't expect you to stay awake. I also didn't expect it either, but here we are. Everyone says the song's crazy. Cuggy says crazy enough for even I enjoy it. Kaylee says this is what I assume my brain sounds like every day. Kayla says I think I like this. Uni said same about the brain waves. I about died laughing when I first heard this. I could have. I feel like I was going through it. Kadi says wow. Uni says glorious. Kyle says, you know what, this hits. Cody says this is great. Kadi says I like this. Uni says, killer, I need more of this Itzy, fair enough. I need to be in the right mood to listen to this, and today is one of those days, as Gunky says, either ADHD or we're on crack. potentially. Kaylee says they stayed up by drinking all the energy drinks. Fair enough. And Cal says this is even funnier knowing it's the last song on the album. That is factual as well too. So very nice. We ended this on the craziest of crazies, but very nice. I think probably Wednesday we'll do catch up. I would argue, unless somebody would like to interject. But I think that would probably be it. So thanks for staying up for the album stream. That was rad. Thanks to all the recommendations. We will most likely be doing this again for the album stream in the foreseeable future. So if you haven't gotten your thing in, please join Discord. That's the best way to do that. So thanks again. Also, this is my plug to check out Olipop Pineapple Paradise. If you like pineapple, this is sick. It's too expensive. So Olipop, if you're watching this, fucking cut the price down to this, but delicious. Anyway, that's it. Thanks a lot. See y'all. See y'all next stream. All right, bye.